What's up, dummy? So I was just on YouTube and I saw this video right here. It says 8 most disturbing things discovered in people's basements. Look at that. What the hell is that? Now, when I was a kid, I was always afraid of basements. I don't know why. It was just something about like a dark, creepy basement was always so creepy to me. So this is gonna scare the hell out of me. We're about to see some of the most disturbing basements ever. Get ready. Oh my god. 8 most disturbing things discovered in basements. What the hell is that, bro? It's a clown or something? Ah!
This first discovery happened to multiple students of Ohio State University back in September of 2013.
Okay.
The group of students only recently started leasing an off-campus house close to the school.
Okay.
And it was in this house where they would make a disturbing find in the basement.
Oh god.
Only a month after moving in, the students would start to notice small yet strange occurrences in the house.
Okay.
Things like cupboards, their oven, and even their microwave being left open.
Oh god.
The house
That's
was
a
3
ghost.
stories, with 5 students on the first floor and 10 others on the second and third.
Damn, 15?
So obviously it was difficult to keep track of everyone.
Damn.
But when they realized none of them were responsible, they decided to search the house. What they found was a locked door, which they had originally
way.
assumed was a utility closet that the landlord wanted to be kept locked. Though at no point in time was this confirmed, and after calling the landlord about it, they were informed this wasn't the case. The door should not have been locked for any reason.
Oh
The
no.
landlord would end up sending a maintenance worker to check it out, and after breaking down the door, a room that was clearly being lived in was revealed.
Huh?
The room had framed photos and school textbooks scattered around. The students would change all the locks that night and leave a note for whoever was living in the room saying to call them. The man would actually end up calling the number and later be removed from the household.
What?
It turns out the guy was a cousin to one of the house's previous residents, which is how he got a key in the first place. One of the students even recalled running into the man in the basement at one point earlier in the month and asking who he was, but only to be met with a very vague answer. Ultimately, the students would blame the leasing company of the home for the incident, as
What
they were
the
responsible
hell?
for failing to change the locks from the year before.
So this was a house that a bunch of college kids lived in, and like every year new college kids come in, obviously, so then they get new people living in these houses. There was somebody from the last year who was living in there who kept living in the basement, but he just kept one door locked, and then a bunch more people moved in, but he stayed in the basement, never went out. I bet he went out at like 4 a.m. That's why the microwave doors were open and the cupboards were open, and nobody remembered that, because this guy he was hiding in their house, living in their house without them knowing. He'd go upstairs, cook some food when nobody was awake. Oh my god, could you imagine somebody living in your house and you have no idea? Eating your food, using your toilet. Dude, I'd be so mad if somebody was using my toilet. That's disgusting. Oh
In June of 2020, a man named Christopher Town would make a life-threatening discovery while helping his friend move furniture in his basement. Unknown to both of them at the time was the fact that the house itself was built over a well. And so at one point, when Christopher was making his way across the room, the floorboards just underneath him would snap, which
What?
caused him to fall the 25-foot drop to the bottom. Fortunately, there was water at the bottom to break his fall, though this meant Christopher would have to use the rocks on the wall to hold his head above the water while he waited for the local fire department to arrive.
There's a damn well under this guy's house. How do you build a house on a well? How does that happen, bro? Who built this house? They are mental.
And to make things worse, the water itself was at an extremely low temperature.
Yeah, probably.
Though, after only a few minutes, the fire department was able to successfully get Christopher out using a hauling system.
Imagine you're just in your living room, just walking around like just normal. You're going to the kitchen. Boom! You just fall into a 25-foot hole and there's water at the bottom. That's like a water slide, dude. That's kind of sick.
Mike Carroll was a man who lived in a small house in Lake Grove, New York.
Okay,
which
New York.
was the same house he had grown up in. Mike was 57 at the time, and only a few months prior had purchased the house. Though, while he was in the basement, Mike would make a disturbing discovery. He would find a full set of human bones buried under some dirt.
Huh?
But what makes this find so disturbing is the fact that the bones match the DNA of his father. When Mike was only 8 months old, his father was said to have gone missing. And throughout his childhood, he would question his mother about this.
Wait, what?
But each time he was given a different story.
Wait, what? So this is the house that this guy grew up in. This guy grew up in this house. Then he moved out when he was like, 20. Then he moved back in. He bought the house, he moved back in, and he found his dad's bones. But every time he would ask his mom what happened to dad, she'd say, "Oh, he's traveling." I think the mom killed him. Let's see what happens.
So, of course, this made Mike want to
gosh.
find out for himself what had really happened to his father, which is what gave him motivation to buy his childhood house in the first place. The newly found bones would obviously cause blame for the disappearance to be shifted onto his mother,
Yeah?
though she had unfortunately passed away 20 years prior.
Bro, she died, and now we'll never know if she killed... Oh my god, bruh.
So, there's no way of confirming if she was responsible or not, and therefore what really happened will forever be unknown.
What? They will never know what happened. Are they able to check the bones to see, like, how the person died? I don't know how all that works. I'm really, like, uneducated and dumb. But are they able to check the bones and see... I don't know. You know, the more I think about that, what the hell am I saying? How are they gonna, like, look at a bone and be like, oh yeah, he was murdered 42 years ago? How do you... I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
An appliance repairman was responding to a call from house owner Charles Price.
Okay.
Though, while the repairman was working in the basement, he would claim to have noticed something moving in a covered container in a back corner.
Huh?
Curious, the repairman would lift off the cover and be met by a 200-pound alligator. But before running, the repairman would capture multiple pictures for proof to show the police. It turns out the house owner had the alligator for more than 20 years and was supposedly using it to help him with the house's mouse infestation.
Hold on! So you're telling me this guy was just a worker who would go fix people's houses up or whatever. He went into the basement to go fix something, and he saw an alligator just swimming around in this guy's basement? The thing that's even weirder about this is the guy who owns the house said he uses it to kill the rats that run around his house. They sell mouse traps, they sell poison at the store for like $3. Why are you using a fully grown alligator? This has to be in China or something. There's no way that... what the hell?
He would illegally keep the creature in a cage in his basement and
In
claim
a
to occasionally
cage?
take him out into his backyard. Shortly after the repairman made the report, the alligator was confiscated by local animal control and later released into a
Good.
better environment.
My god, dude, this dude had an alligator in his... What is wrong with these people? And also, what's wrong with my eye? If you could, like, if you've noticed me itching my eye all day, I think I've got, like, leukemia or something, dude.
An account under the name Daily
my eye
Dish.
itches.
In the post, the Redditor
The hell
explains
is
how a
this?
few years ago they shared
Alright,
a house
I'm
with
locked
some
in.
friends, and in the first few months of living in the house, they hadn't spent much time in the basement. The
Bro,
basement was
okay, that's your first mistake. Somebody said they bought a house and they didn't really spend too much time in the basement for the first couple of months. That's your first mistake. How do you buy a house and not even check the basement? Oh my god, I almost threw up. If I were to buy a house, like let's just say I had billions of dollars and I was super rich, I could go buy houses. I would check the basement. That's like one of the first places you would check. You would check the living room. Okay, it's nice. You would check the kitchen. It's nice. You'd probably check the bathroom to see if there's any poop stains. And then you go to the basement. Why have you not checked the basement? Okay, I hope you find a cult down there or
half
something.
finished, with the other half being a sort of dirt crawl space that extended under the porch of the house. They went on to explain how one night they decided to explore it more thoroughly, and after grabbing a flashlight, they discovered a black canvas duffel bag in the very back of the dirt crawl space. Disturbingly, in the duffel bag were 2 black ski masks, a hunting knife, and a single black leather glove. The Redditor went on to explain how they decided to call the non-emergency police number and report the discovery, though the police weren't interested, and therefore the house owners decided to set fire to everything but the hunting knife. Whether that bag had any relation to any sort of criminal activity is still unknown to this day.
Damn, so they found 2 black bags in their basement that they never found before. It had ski masks, knives, and other things. So somebody was planning to like kill somebody, bro.
This next discovery comes from a guy who moved into a studio apartment in England.
Okay.
The guy claimed to have moved into the apartment without even viewing the place.
Bro, that is your first mistake. How are you moving places you've never seen before? Are you guys just that desperate to move? Like, do you hate your parents that much, dude? What the hell?
Arrival, he would discover something pretty disturbing.
Oh, man.
So here's the apartment I moved into last week.
Oh, God. We got a video of
Pretty
it.
small, pretty nice. Rent
Okay.
was pretty cheap, so I moved in without even viewing the place.
That's your first
And
problem,
then when
buddy.
I got here, I realized why the rent was so cheap.
Why?
The guy then goes on to give a tour of the apartment, and after a while, this sort of trap door on the floor can be seen.
Got a bathroom, pretty standard.
Wait, there's a trap
And then
door?
we look down here. What's this?
Oh, my God, bro. I don't mess with trap
definitely a
doors,
handle.
bro. Oh, my God.
So I figured, you know, a bit of underfloor storage.
Yeah, probably
Let's
some
lift this up.
storage, right?
That looks like it goes down pretty
Oh, my
deep.
God. That's deep as
Featured
hell.
directly under this guy's apartment is
No.
some sort of dungeon-looking basement.
Under an apartment, bro? Okay, this is kind of normal to be under a house, but under a small apartment, he said a studio apartment, which means it's so small. This being under a studio apartment is so creepy, bro. Does that mean this is under all the other apartments? Oh my god, and everybody can access it? He's going down.
We can see a corridor going off straight to the front. Interesting graffiti on the wall.
CCFC? What's that mean?
Down here, this place is strange.
What the hell?
It's like a brick seat or bed.
Yeah, it's like a bed
Compared to
right
the rest
there.
of the apartment, the area itself is pretty big, featuring many large rooms and corridors. What exactly this area was used for is unclear.
Dude, there's multiple rooms and hallways down there. What the hell?
Way back in 2002, a homeowner in Jefferson County, Wisconsin found out that the foundation of her house was deteriorating.
Okay.
And so in November, she would apply for a loan to repair the foundation.
Okay.
But around 2 weeks later, while away at work, she would get a call from the workers hired to do the repair, explaining how they came across a gruesome discovery. They explained that as they started to remove the soil from the foundation wall in our basement, they had unearthed the full skeletal remains of a body. The skeleton was determined to be that of a 50-year-old male. Most disturbingly, though, is the fact that after further inspection, it was determined that the house had been built right on top of an ancient burial ground.
Oh my
It's
god.
estimated to be up to 170 years old.
Oh my god.
Experts believe that in all likelihood, hundreds more skeletons are within a close proximity to the one found.
Bro, what?
This discovery would ultimately put a stop to the house's renovation altogether.
This girl bought a house. Then the bottom of her house was messed up, the foundation. So she had somebody come fix it. And they found a dead person, bro. And then they realized this was built on top of a graveyard, a cemetery. How the hell do you build a house on a graveyard, dude? What is wrong with these people? Who are building these houses?
In January of 2010, Wally and Linda DeForest would move into their new home in Goshen, Indiana.
Okay,
No,
Indiana. Before we watch this, I know this is going to be insane because Indiana is one of the dumbest
A week
states
after
ever.
moving in, the couple would discover a live torpedo in their basement.
Huh?
Something they obviously weren't aware of beforehand. Both of them noted how old
A
the thing
missile?
looked, but still obviously active. There had been no drill holes to indicate it had been disarmed.
Bro!
The couple would end up calling the police, who would send out a bomb squad to extract the torpedo from the property's basement.
They found a damn missile in their basement! Why is there a missile in your basement?
And luckily, they were able to remove it without incident.
Imagine you get a new house, you go downstairs, and there's just a nuke in the basement. What the hell is wrong with Indiana? This 8 most disturbing things caught on a doorbell camera footage. And look at this lady. If I saw this lady outside my door on my Ring doorbell camera, I think I'm going outside with a shovel and just kill it, bro. Oh my god, I'm gonna check this video out. I wanna see some scary ass doorbell camera footage. Let's check this out. 4 million views almost. This is insane. Let's check it out. Oh god. Most disturbing things caught on doorbell footage. This is gonna be scary, bro. Try not to get scared, everybody. Lock
This
in.
footage was captured in Flint, Michigan on April 24th, 2023.
Hold on. Flint, Michigan? That's like the worst city in the world. Of course this is gonna happen.
The house had 2 Ring cameras, one above the garage, and the other was a Ring doorbell camera.
Okay.
Around 10 p.m., a man in a red
10
jacket
p.m.
and another person just behind him are shown walking up to the house's front door.
Oh, that's weird as hell.
Before knocking or ringing the doorbell, the man in the jacket immediately starts trying to break down the door.
Wow, with his leg? He's trying to do this, bro. He's trying to like kick the hell out of the door. That's mess, bro. If somebody tries doing that to my house, I dare you to come through. I dare you to try to break in. Listen to this. He's really trying to break the door down, bro. Did he show his face? Yeah, he did, right there. They literally know who he is. You're so stupid, bro. Everybody's
The Ring
straight
camera
butt
flips
shot.
around from the impacts, but the door itself doesn't budge. After those few
That's funny as
seconds, the
hell.
man walks around to the house's side door and again immediately starts trying to break it down.
What?
By this point, the homeowner had woken up in a panic and was checking their camera's feed for an explanation. They noticed their doorbell camera on the ground, and so they switched over to their other camera.
Oh man.
As the banging noise rang out throughout the house, they could now see what was causing it.
Damn, so somebody woke up in the middle of the night and looked at their cameras and there's 2 guys outside trying to break in. What do you do in this situation? Do you call the cops? It's gonna take like 5 hours. Not 5 hours, it's gonna take like 5 minutes. for them to show up.
The
What do you
homeowner's
do?
voice coming over the speaker was enough to scare the two
Oh
men.
snap! They got scared by the
Police
voice.
were called out to the property. When they reviewed the footage, they noted that one of the men was armed.
Oh damn! He had a.
What these two men
weapon.
planned to do with the people inside if they had successfully broken in is unknown.
That's insane, bro. Imagine being asleep and then you look at your camera because you hear like bang, bang, bang outside and you're like, oh, damn, maybe like my DoorDash is arriving. And you look and like, holy cow, somebody's trying to break my door down. And then his buddy has a weapon, bro. I don't know what I'd do in that situation. I might go outside and start punching.
It's unclear if
Oh,
they were
no.
ever identified by police.
Damn, they don't know if they ever caught them. So they could be out there doing that now. Y'all, bro, anybody out here watching this? Bro, y'all gotta be safe, bro. They got cameras everywhere. Don't do stupid stuff, bro. You're gonna get caught doing some stupid stuff. If anybody ever is doing some stupid stuff, you're gonna get caught. That's what I'm saying, bro. Cameras are
The
everywhere.
clip was captured at 3 in the morning on April 9th,
3 a.m.?
2023. It happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What the hell is that? Bro! Dude, if I look outside and I see this lady, oh my god. This is the type of person who would live in New Mexico. That's all I'm saying. What is she doing? Is she trying to like open the door with the key? The key doesn't work.
The homeowner was sleeping when the clip was recorded. It wasn't until he woke up and saw a notification on his phone that he found out about it.
Bro, this dude was asleep when this was happening. He woke up, looked at his phone, and there's just a creepy lady trying to get into his house.
He reviewed the footage, horrified. This is what he saw.
Oh my god.
A woman is shown trying multiple different keys to get into the house and even looking around for a hidden one.
She's looking for a hidden key. This lady's tripping. Look at this. She's trying to... Yo, what's on her nose? Is she like bleeding? What is up with this lady, bro? She's using every single key. That's not even a key. That looked like a revolver. Look at that. That's not even a key. It's a revolver chain. Oh my god, she's tweaking. I've never seen somebody tweak harder.
The homeowner claimed that he had never seen this woman before. He said that she later started throwing rocks at his car and trying those locks.
What?
It's likely she was under the influence of something.
Yeah.
Multiple times she tries to
tweaking.
insert keys into the doorbell camera itself. After
Hold on. Why is she trying to insert keys into the doorbell camera? I'm pretty sure a Ring doorbell doesn't even have a key. I'm pretty sure it's like a keypad. What are you trying to put a damn key into?
a few minutes, she walks off and was never seen on the property again.
She was never seen
Her
again?
intentions are unknown.
Yeah, what was she trying to do, bruh? You know, actually, this is a crazy story. About a year ago, I was sleeping, right? I was just sleeping. It was like maybe 4 a.m. Pitch black outside. And I heard somebody I heard my doorbell ring outside. I don't have a Ring doorbell. I just have a normal doorbell. So they rang it. And I was like, who the hell's ringing the doorbell this late? It kind of spooked me. I was woken up out of my sleep. What the hell? So I look outside my window. How my room works is I have like a window right here, basically. And I can look outside and see my front door from here. So I wake up and I'm like, who the hell? So I look out and there's a guy just standing outside of my door, my front door, just waiting. And then I'm looking at him, I'm like, what the hell, who the hell is this guy? And he tries unlocking the door. Thankfully, it was locked. Sometimes I leave my doors unlocked. I don't know why, I forget. But it was locked. And dude, if I left it unlocked, because I do all the time, if I would have left it unlocked, he would have went into my house, and I don't know. But here's the craziest part about the story. I see him, so I end up calling the cops. And then he ends up running away, like, he ends up like walking away. He doesn't see me. He ends up walking away and I never see him. And then I call the cops. I'm like, there was a random guy in like neon green shirt just trying to get into my house. And they're like, okay, yeah, we got other reports. People have called. He was trying to get into other people's houses in my neighborhood too. But then the next day I found out that he successfully got into somebody's house. One of my neighbors, he actually went into their house because he was trying everybody's doors and every single door was locked. He actually successfully got into somebody's house in my neighborhood. And guess what happened? He went into their house, right? And he went into their kitchen and he started eating. He started getting like milk and fruit and like food all out. And the story that I heard was that somebody woke up because they heard somebody in their kitchen. So like, who the hell? Like, is it my son? Is it somebody? So they go to their kitchen to see who's eating food at 4:14 a.m. And they see the guy just eating their food. And then he says, hey, mom. What? So the person who found him was a girl. And he looks at this guy was like a 35-year-old man. He looks at the person and he's like, hey, mom, while eating their food in their kitchen at 4 a.m. That's insane. Make sure y'all keep your doors locked.
Walter Hickox
I'm
is a
glad mine
homeowner in
was.
Daytona Beach, Florida. His home is sat out in a wooded section of the city. In January of 2022, Walter was taking his 3 dogs out onto the porch, and he noticed one of them intently looking at something outside.
Oh man.
The dogs suddenly start running to the left side of the camera, and that's when Walter realizes they were looking at a black bear.
A bear.
The bear climbs over a protective railing as it goes for the dogs. With barely any time to process what he was seeing,
Bro, this dude's a
lunges
badass.
at the bear as it goes for
He sees a bear coming into his porch.
his dogs.
He just starts.
He manages to push it back before he shoves a
pushes
nearby
the
chair in the
bear
doorway,
back.
preventing it from attacking again.
Wow.
He yells out that he was attacked by a bear as he brings his dogs back inside.
Imagine hearing that, bro. It's like the middle of the night. You're taking your dogs out, and then you hear somebody saying, "Ah, I just got attacked by a bear." I'd be like, "Boy, what the fuck? Are you tweaking? Go to bed." What are you playing? Ark Survival?
When I had time to just sit and just stare, it all hit me, and I started bawling. I couldn't believe how close to death I was, and I did it for my
Right.
dog.
Even your
Walter
dogs,
received
bro. Even the dogs, because
injuries
look,
from the bear.
it looks like the bear was trying to get the dogs.
His dogs didn't receive any injuries.
Wow. That dude's a beast, I ain't gonna lie.
This homeowner in Texas got a knock at their door for a DoorDash delivery around 1:20 in the morning.
DoorDash?
Only
Okay.
the homeowner hadn't ordered DoorDash. She was sleeping.
Huh?
It was-
Somebody showed up to her door with DoorDash, food delivery, at 1 a.m., but she didn't even order DoorDash. This is
It was
weird.
only her and her nephew in the home at the time. She remembers waking up to a metal clinking sound, but
God, this dude burnt
Mary
their
Ann,
house down. That is not what I
an
expected.
expert in abusive relationships, responded with, "Abusive relationships are about
What?
power and control, and when that power and control is taken away or it's minimized, then what we see is those
I'll be
efforts are
tripping,
escalated
bro.
to try and get them back." Police are currently looking for the homeowner's ex-boyfriend seen in the video.
They're still looking for him? They're still looking for him? Oh my
This
god.
happened in April of 2023 in a wooded
Alright.
section of Asheville, North Carolina.
Asheville, North Carolina. That's
The
a nice
homeowner of
place.
this house got a notification saying motion was detected at her front door.
Multiple bears?
She opened the app on her phone and saw 3 bears on her front porch. They were tearing open a package that had recently been delivered.
Bro, these bears are tearing into an Amazon package. That's so annoying, bro. What if you get like a brand new PlayStation controller and they just be eating that shit?
Inside the package was dog food, which they easily would have been able to
Oh.
smell.
Dog food.
The homeowner opened her door and confronted the animals, trying to
What?
scare them off.
They got balls, bro. If I saw bears outside my front door, I'm getting a gun. I'm not opening the door. I'm shooting them through the window. Yeah, I'm gonna get a peek. I'm gonna peek them. I'm gonna hit them with a Call of Duty jumps and spots, T. Martin style. Bow! Shoot that. I like how the mom bear was the first one to be scared. Damn, they still took the damn dog food.
The bears take one of the 2 bags of dog food inside the package.
These bears are
Seen on the right
savage.
side of the screen with the bag in their mouth as they walk off.
Damn, look at those them bears up there. I'm gonna have to move my face cam, but I'm
This
gonna
footage was
try. I'm gonna
captured
try.
at
I'm gonna try.
night, just
I got
before
y'all. I
2
got y'all.
a.m. It shows a man ringing the doorbell to this home in Rochester, New York.
Is he getting under the car?
Immediately after, he hides behind a parked car. He's seen crouched down, holding some kind of club in his hand, breathing
What?
heavily and sweating profusely.
What?
He nervously looks back and forth from out of the street
What is
to
he-
back at the house's front door.
This dude rings the doorbell and then just sits down and hides behind their car. Bro, what? I dare this to happen to me, bro. I dare somebody to do this to me, bro. I swear I dare it. He's just looking. Look at him. I mean, what is he doing? Dude. In this case, you don't open the door. I think you just call the cops in this case. Because you don't know what he's going to do. He could swing on you with that thing in his hand. What is he doing, bro? Just tripping.
The man clearly looks to be on something.
Yeah.
When he realizes
kidding.
no one was going to answer the door, he walks away.
Just walks away.
Another minute passes when a voice yells out that the police are on their way.
Oh my god, they're talking to him through the doorbell. Wait.
It's unclear whose voice this is. There
could
are
be
two
his
main
voice.
possibilities here. Either this man was hiding from someone for one reason or another, and he was trying to get inside a house so that he wouldn't be found.
Maybe.
The voice being the person he was hiding from. Or he was trying to bait the homeowner into opening the door, where he then planned to do who knows what. The voice here being a concerned neighbor that saw what he was doing. Either way, the man most likely did not have the best intentions.
Right, I mean, this is weird, bro. Make sure y'all always keep y'all doors locked. If y'all want me to react to some more disturbing things, let me know. Try not to get scared. Peace out. What's up, dummies? Today we're about to look at some YouTubers who went missing. This is the video right here. YouTube channels that were abandoned for crazy reasons. So these people went missing, and there's crazy reason behind it. Let's watch this. This is gonna be insane. All right, let's check it.
A 26-year-old man from Vermont, USA. He
All right.
spent most of his early years in the tiny town of Heinsberg.
Okay.
Life there was calm and peaceful, but with a population of less than 600 residents, it was also quite boring.
Damn.
Elliot wanted to do something more with his life. So, with his love for nature and exploration in mind, he saved up some money and traveled to the Philippines near the end of 2023.
Okay.
He wanted to slowly make his way through the entire country and witness its beauty firsthand. But just a couple months into his trip, he met a local woman named Carisha Jayla. The two started dating and got married just a few months after that, in July of 2023.
What?
Then, in January 2024, Elliot started posting videos on YouTube, documenting his life in the Philippines with his wife.
Okay.
His videos were simple, without any over-the-top music or crazy editing effects, but they felt authentic and real, allowing him to amass a small but dedicated fan base.
Okay,
Though
7,000
his content
subs,
took a
not
massive
bad.
shift in May 2024 when he decided to move to the beachside village his wife was from in the Cebuco municipality. Unfortunately, it wasn't long before this spiraled into the worst decision he'd ever make.
Oh god.
You see, Cebuco is part of what's known as the Red Zone in the Philippines. Put simply, this is the most dangerous section of the country, especially for foreigners. Armed robberies, kidnappings, and even murders are not uncommon in this region, with over 40 Westerners going missing there in just the last decade. However, Elliot was well aware of this fact, as evident from his channel's description, which read, I'm Elliot Eastman. I am 26 years old and I came to the Philippines about a year and a half ago, where I met the love of my life deep in the mountains of the Red Zone of the Philippines. I will be showing you my day-to-day life as the first and only foreigner to have ever lived here in Cebuco for a long period of time. He mentioned the danger in some of his video titles as well. But despite the threat to his life, he still wanted to build a life in Cebuco.
So basically, this guy met his wife when he traveled. He met her, got married. Then he moved to the most dangerous part of the Philippines, where a lot of people that are from like the United States and stuff, they don't live there because it's dangerous. But he said he don't care. He doesn't care that it's dangerous, so he's going to live there. And something's about to happen. That's why he's in this video.
So he rented an apartment and even built his own grocery shop near the beach, all while documenting the entirety of his journey on YouTube. Now, there were times when he felt threatened and had to hide from some locals to avoid getting in serious trouble. But despite the somewhat dire circumstances, Elliot was enjoying his time in Cebuco and slowly building the life he wanted. However, just when things were starting to look up for Elliot, tragedy struck. The incident took place on the night of October 17th, 2024, when, after doing several short live streams throughout the day, Elliot went offline and sat for dinner with his wife and her parents. But then, a few minutes later, 4 men with guns barged into their home and started telling Elliot to go outside. These men were also wearing outfits similar to those of the Filipino police, likely in hopes of making Elliot more cooperative. Elliot, however, saw through their disguise and tried to run away. Unfortunately, that's when things went from bad to worse. One of them opened fire and ended up shooting Elliot twice, once in the leg and once in the abdomen. They then dragged him onto the speedboat they had docked near their home and sped off into the darkness. This was the last time anyone saw Elliot alive. By the time the police launched a search and rescue mission, the kidnapper's boat was nowhere to be found. The investigation then went on for nearly a month until the 12th of November. But when the police eventually located the kidnappers, they were forced into a shootout, resulting in 3 of the 4 culprits losing their lives. And while they did manage to arrest the last kidnapper, it was already too late. According to the kidnapper, Elliot succumbed to his injuries when he was on the speedboat.
Oh, man.
So the kidnappers simply threw his body overboard to hide the primary evidence of their crime.
Bro,
Unfortunately, the police were unable to locate his remains and pronounced him officially dead in December of 2024.
Are you kidding me,
However,
bro?
one question still remained unanswered. Why? Why did these 4 criminals target Elliot?
Yeah.
Well, the simplest explanation is also the most likely one. They just wanted to kidnap him for ransom. Caresha even had a first-hand experience with this, as back in high school, one of her Canadian classmates was kidnapped and held for a ransom of $50,000 US.
Wow.
That said, there's also a second potential explanation that has to do with Elliot's side business. You see, while operating his grocery store, Elliot also started lending the locals money for 20% interest. A local loan shark likely saw him as a competitor and sought to eliminate Elliot before he took away any more of his business. This would also explain why the intruders were so quick to open fire if they wanted to hold him for ransom.
Come on,
Regardless of their motive, the end result was the loss of a young man
this
trying
is
to make
sad.
a life for himself with his wife in a foreign land. His
Wow.
YouTube channel now sits abandoned, with its many uploads remaining as proof as the life he once lived.
Wow. Bro. Yeah, as you can see, this is his channel right now. I'm on his channel. So he's literally, like, he's passed away, bro. He fell in love with a lady that he met in the Philippines. He moved to, like, a bad part of the area because she lived there. Like, she was born there. She wanted to move there. He moved there. He didn't care. He says he's the first and only foreigner to live in Cebuco for a long period of the time. Basically, most foreigners don't move there because they try to kill foreigners. And this is his last video. In his last video, he's eating noodles and stuff. Bro, what? That's really sad, but we gotta see the other ones.
Benjamin Pardoon, known online as Warner the Goobermeister, was a
What?
comedian creator on YouTube who primarily focused on creating a genre of memes known as YouTube poops, which is a subgenre of online humor that revolves around taking clips from other shows, usually cartoons, and editing them to have a bizarre, often nonsensical tone.
Okay.
Over time, Benjamin's channel had amassed over 8.7 million views,
Nice.
making him a well-known name in the YTP community. But after his upload on December 21st, 2021, he suddenly vanished from the internet, leaving his fans wondering what could have happened. Unfortunately, the reason for his disappearance was far more tragic than simply getting bored and moving on from the channel, as most of his
man.
audience had assumed.
Dude,
The
it's so
incident-
crazy. Like, I know that YouTubers disappear every single day. Like, I could easily die, like, tomorrow. Who knows? But, like, dude, it's just sad, like, seeing YouTubers who post videos and people who love these YouTubers just dying one day.
Place on the 27th of January 2022, when his
this
older
him?
brother Chris tried to contact him many times but didn't hear back.
Okay.
Left with no other option, Chris called the police at around 8 p.m. to check on his parents and little brother. When the officers arrived at his house, the lights were on, but no one was answering the door. After repeated knocks, the officers knew something was off, so they decided to break in.
Ooh.
But nothing could have prepared them for the horrific scene they saw behind that door.
Oh, no.
Inside, they found the bodies of Benjamin and his parents, all with visible gunshot wounds. However, what looked like a robbery gone wrong turned out to be far more tragic. According to the investigation, both Benjamin and his mother Deborah were shot by his father that evening,
Oh my
who, after
God.
committing the crime, decided to end things for himself
Oh
as
my
well.
God, dude.
The news of this incident was a massive shock for Benjamin's viewers,
Bro, come
as he
on,
never
bro.
mentioned any family troubles before.
So this kid was the YouTuber who was making, like, edits and stuff, and people really liked his funny videos. He was a kid, bro.
Chris later set up a GoFundMe page in November of
Look at him.
2022, which not only allowed Benjamin's fans to support the only living member of his family, it also gave some insight into what might have happened.
Dude, I didn't even realize it. This Benjamin kid, his brother, was the only one left alive, bro. Imagine, so this guy so the family had a mom, a dad, and 2 sons. The son died, the mom died, and the dad died. Imagine your whole family's just dead, and you're the only one left. Oh my God.
He was born in 2005 and was soon diagnosed with autism.
Oh,
This
he
made
had
it difficult for him
autism.
to interact with people in person. Because of this, he was homeschooled, and at just 8 years old, he started uploading on YouTube, hoping to
Wow.
make friends and find a sense of community.
So
Sadly, Benjamin's
post on
condition was far
YouTube.
from the only challenge their family had to face. Deborah was also suffering from nerve damage after an accident, and the father, Gregory, had also gotten in a car accident in the past and could barely walk. On top of that, the
man.
family was also struggling with severe financial issues, which could explain why Gregory felt the need to take such a drastic measure, seemingly out of nowhere. As Chris puts it, "My dad was a proud man. He was ashamed to ask or seek out help. Although Benjamin's content was somewhat niche, it left a big impact on those who came across it, with some even uploading new videos in his style to keep his memory alive.
Wow. That's nice of people, bro. Alright, this next
Harley
one
Dilly was a
crazy.
YouTube channel run by a 14-year-old teenager from Ohio with the same name.
Huh.
He created the channel in 2013 to share his love of
playing
gaming,
Madden
specifically the sports game Madden, with others. He also uploaded vlogs on YouTube, where he talked about anything that was on his mind that day. But for Harley himself, these were more than just videos. They were one of the many forms of escape he had from his troubled life.
Oh,
You see,
God.
Harley suffered from oppositional defiant disorder and was also diagnosed with high-functioning autism. This resulted in him getting into heated arguments with his parents quite often and subsequently ending up in a worse situation. In one instance, he even posted a video talking about how he was locked
I'm
out of the house
scared?
after an argument with his mother, titled, "I'm Scared."
Oh,
Hey
God.
guys, what's up? It is Harley Dilly. Probably one of my worst days in my life. I was at school and I was science test. I finished it and my computer says 1% battery left. So I get to the next class and I put it on charger as quick as possible, but it didn't charge. None of the computers would take a charge. So I took it back and I had to fill out a complaint, and that's one of the most expensive parts of the computer. And my mom said she's not paying anything. We argued for about a good 5 minutes. Then she snapped. She said she was gonna call the police, and she said she already did. And she locked me out of the house. So right now I'm outside. Yep, the house is locked.
What's
is
wrong with his
3:30.
mom?
I haven't ate anything, and I still haven't even got to get my work done. My mom's gone. She
What's
won't
wrong with
answer the
his
phone.
mom, bro? Kicking
There
the
were also
kid out of the
allegations
house?
of some of his family members being physically
I see
aggressive
why.
to him. But despite all this, Harley was still a cheerful kid who wanted nothing more than to play Madden and grow his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this ambition was tragically cut short on
No.
December 20th, 2019,
No.
when Harley went to school and never came back. The day had started off rough. Harley was still upset after arguing with his parents the night before, as they had refused to replace his broken smartphone. He also didn't want to go to school that day. But his mother Heather woke up early that day and, after some more arguing, convinced him to go. He left his house just before 7 a.m., but he was somehow absent from school and didn't return home that evening either. Harley had disappeared without a trace. Surprisingly, his family didn't report him missing until 11:50 p.m. on December 21st, nearly 43 hours after he vanished.
What? This kid went to school. This kid, so his parents thought he went to school, but then he never went to school that day. He didn't come home that night. Then he wasn't home all day the next day, and then they reported him missing the next night. If my kid didn't come home from school, I'm figuring it out. It almost took 3 days for them to report him missing. The family's weird, bro.
Their explanation for the delay was simple. According to them, Harley had spent the night at friends' houses without telling them before, usually after an argument. They assumed this time was the same. However,
I mean,
they
still,
couldn't-
you gotta check in on your kid, bro. You still gotta at least be like, okay, are you at your friend's house? Like, I'm not gonna be a strict parent. I'm not gonna be like an over-parenter where I'm like, oh, you can't go here, go here. Like, I want my kid to tell me where they're at all times. I just need to know where they're at, and then I'm cool with it. If you want to go down to the damn park, cool, but just let me know so I know where you are.
of them
Bro,
were wrong. Something that became increasingly clear as the police investigation dragged on for days without uncovering a single clue about his whereabouts.
what?
The only thing they found was this low-resolution picture of Harley going to school that was taken from a neighbor's security camera.
Wow, that was
And
the last
that was it.
picture of him?
Eventually, many other organizations, including the FBI, joined the search as well. They also distributed his missing posters nationwide and offered an $18,000 reward, hoping to receive any information that could lead them in the right direction. Unfortunately, although they received numerous tips, none led to any significant progress in the case. That is until the 13th of January, over 23 days after Harley went missing, when
23
the investigators
days.
made the big discovery. They were re-canvassing the area immediately surrounding Harley's home when one of the investigators decided to check out the vacant house directly across from the Dilly residence. This was a summer home and was fully locked at the time. There was also no indications of anyone breaking into the home. However, the investigators had looked everywhere else to no avail. This was one of their last options. So they acquired the key to this home and started looking around. They didn't find anything on the ground floor. But as soon as they climbed the stairs, one of them noticed a maroon puffer jacket lying on the ground, the same jacket that Harley was wearing on the morning of his disappearance. As they got closer, they also noticed his glasses lying on the floor as well.
What?
But there were no signs of Harley anywhere. Both the glasses and the jacket had also collected plenty of dirt, indicating that they must have been there for a long time. While they were looking around, one of the investigators noticed the chimney vent above where his glasses and jacket were discovered. This sort of vent is used to connect traditional wood-burning heaters. Curious to see what was in it, he reached into the hole, only for his hand to touch human hair on the other side. There was no doubt about it, that was Harley, stuck in the chimney. Officers quickly dismantled the wall, and sure enough, they found Harley's body inside, with his arms raised above his head. A later autopsy concluded that he likely passed away the day he went missing. His particular position at the time of discovery also helped investigators piece together what might have happened that day. As the story goes, Harley didn't want to go to school that day, so he decided to spend the time at the vacant home until the afternoon to make it seem like he went to school. But when he couldn't find a way in from the ground floor, he climbed onto the roof using the antenna tower beside the house. From there, he looked into the chimney and saw a relatively short drop and chose to climb down it to enter the house.
You're kidding me. This kid didn't want to go to school, so he went across the street into a house that nobody was in because it was a summer vacation house and it wasn't the summer. He goes in the chimney.
However, what he failed to realize was that this chimney didn't lead to a spacious fireplace. Instead, it only connected to a couple of small vents for heater exhausts, leaving him stuck at the bottom. Due to the way he climbed down, his jacket was likely halfway removed already. So he pushed it through the vent to free up some space, and his glasses fell through as well. Sadly, there was nothing else he could do in that position. His chest was pressed tightly against the chimney's wall, making it impossible to breathe, resulting in him slowly succumbing to asphyxiation. Put simply, this was nothing more than a tragic accident. Now, given this conclusion, Harley's case should have ended there. However, some people, especially his YouTube viewers, weren't satisfied with the official report. Many of them believed that this wasn't an accident at all. Rumors started going around the internet that Harley's death was actually a murder committed by his own family. One of the first big points of contention was his jacket, since in one of the evidence images it could be seen hanging from the door. These critics claimed that this was proof of the whole story being a lie.
Wait, okay, so this is the hole to the chimney, right? So he was like right here in the wall. He climbed down the chimney all the way down, then was just right here. He was too hot in there or whatever, so he tried to take his jacket off and he pushed it through the hole. How would it have gotten on this door? Somebody had to have been there with him and hung his...
Some also argued that the shoes he was wearing in his last picture didn't match the ones the investigators found on him. However, despite the skepticism, the police stuck with their initial report. As for the jacket issue, that turned out to be nothing more than the result of one of the inexperienced investigators mistakenly moving key evidence. That said, whatever the truth may be, it doesn't change the fact that the YouTube community lost a genuine and passionate creator.
That is so nuts. This kid didn't want to go to school because he had a lot of family issues and stuff, so he went across the street to the house. He couldn't get into the house, and he was scared like his parents were going to see him on the porch, so he climbs the roof. And he's like, oh snap, I'm going to go down the chimney and then get into the house. He goes in the chimney and he realizes that it's not like a fireplace where like most chimneys goes down and then into the living room. And it's like, oh nice, you got to crawl out. But that was a chimney where it was just, oh no. No.
Nicholas Sonderegger was a 28-year-old YouTuber who loved two things in life, longboarding and dancing. He uploaded nearly 80 videos of himself doing both of these on his channel named Sunspeak. Though his ultimate dream was to become a professional dancer. By 2017, he was living in San Diego with his friend Austin to try and make his dream come true. However, the two were completely broke and couldn't afford California's high rent prices. So, with no other option, the two decided to live in tents or random trailers they could find in the Salton Sea area.
What?
Salton Sea used to be a popular tourist destination at one point due to its status as an oasis in the middle of the desert. But the water and the surrounding area became extremely toxic over time, turning it into a complete ghost town.
That's crazy.
On the flip side, this also made living there essentially free, which is what Nick and Austin were after. But what neither of them knew at the time was that the true danger of Salton Sea had nothing to do with its toxic climate. This danger came face to face with the two on the night of September 9th, 2018 at around 2 a.m. They were asleep in their tent when suddenly they were jolted awake by an extremely loud scream coming from the tree line not far from their camp. Fearing for their safety, they decided to just ignore it altogether and go back to sleep. Or that's at least what Austin thought. For some unknown reason, Nick later decided to go investigate the scream on his own after Austin had fallen back asleep. By the time Austin woke up the next morning, Nick was gone.
Oh my god.
He tried looking around for his longtime friend around town and discovered his flashlight lying on the ground just a block away from their tent.
He's dead.
He immediately contacted the police and reported Nick as missing, who began looking for him almost immediately. But all they found was one of his boots, his pants, and his knife sleeve. His other boot, as well as his wallet and keys, were missing. More importantly, Nick himself was nowhere to be found. What made the situation even more bizarre was what happened days later. Austin returned to the same area he had already searched, but this time he found Nick's shirt and hat lying there, items that weren't there before.
What?
In other words, someone had likely placed them in that spot later.
Put that stuff
Sadly, the identity of this person was never uncovered, leaving Nick's case a complete mystery to this day.
What?
Nick's family has set up a website with all the information they have. They've also announced a $10,000 reward for any useful information. But
wait, so he's never been found? Wait, let me get this straight. So there was two guys living in like a ghost town. This was a popular town before, but then it all shut down because like, I don't know, people started moving out. So they started living in these abandoned buildings and stuff. It was pretty much free because if there's nobody living there, then like you can just live there, whatever. So they lived there. And then one night they hear like a scream outside. So they're like, what the hell? So they both go look and they're like, okay, we're not going to look at that. That's creepy. So they go back inside and sleep. But then Nick, this guy right here, wakes up and decides to go investigate, even though his friend and him just agreed not to. Then his friend goes to sleep, Nick goes to explore, and is never seen again.
Despite these efforts, the case has remained cold. In fact, there are so few clues that I wasn't even able to find any solid theories either. Some have speculated that Austin might have killed Nick and hidden his body. However, the police investigation uncovered no evidence of foul play. There's still a chance that some unexpected discovery would crack this case wide open. But until then, Nick's disappearance remains an unsolved mystery, and his YouTube channel remains abandoned.
Dude, that's crazy, bro. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to when dumb teachers get arrested, bro. According to this thumbnail, this old lady was a teacher, a 3rd grade teacher. You can see it on her little name tag right there. What's her name? Ask Cody? What type of name is it? Anyway, this teacher got arrested because she said that one of her kids liked being spanked. Oh my God. What? I've had some crazy teachers in my life, but I've never had one of my teachers get arrested. So we're gonna see some times where teachers get arrested. This is gonna be a dope video.
Crashed into there.
Okay, wait, what? Somebody crashed a school bus? Hold on, why is this video starting so quick? What the hell? The first clip is somebody crashing a school bus into a house? Oh my God.
These are the times when dumb teachers get arrested.
Okay, so according to this thing, there's gonna be 4 times where dumb teachers get arrested.
Let's
oh my God.
start with a 3rd grade teacher who was caught drunk during a lesson.
Bro, what? This lady was caught being drunk during a lesson? What are you drinking, bro? Oh my
On
God.
August 17th, 2023, a school principal called police after noticing a 3rd grade teacher, Kimberly Coates, experience a sudden change in her behavior while she was teaching a lesson. Concerned for her safety, officers and school administrators sat her down to get to the bottom of the story, but Kimberly clearly didn't want to share it.
Now, one thing I would tell you is, for your employment, I want you to be truthful.
Okay.
And so, would you be willing to take a breathalyzer test?
If I needed to, yeah.
Okay.
Bro, I can already tell she's guilty, bro. Not because he already told us that she's drunk, but look at her body language. Watch
Would you,
her.
Be willing
Watch
to take
her,
a
ready?
breathalyzer test?
If I needed to, yeah.
She was like, like she like put her shoulders up. A lot of times when people are lying, they go like, they like clam up. Like she's literally like, bro, you're wearing a Super Mario shirt. Like you're a 3rd grade teacher. You're teaching kids. You wore this nice shirt to school and you had some alcohol before you came. Bro, that's so dumb. I want to see if they actually end up catching her.
You don't have to, but if you're willing to do it, that helps us.
Have you taken any sort of medication today?
I did take some medication this morning for my anxiety.
What did you take this morning?
I think.
Why does a 3rd grade teacher have anxiety? Who hired her? If you hire someone who has anxiety, like, that's just gonna go to all the kids. I don't care. People are probably gonna be hating on me in the comments, bro. Why would a 3rd grade teacher have anxiety, bro? That's like the perfect time when kids start to use their brain in like 3rd grade. You're just gonna basically give them your anxiety. Come on, dog. We need better teachers.
I'm not very good with
Did you
it.
take it here at school?
I took it this morning.
I'm gonna keep pausing the video. This girl said she took some medicine called Quazapun, and then she's like, I'm not very good with names. Bro, you're a damn teacher. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the names of any medicines. I'm stupid too, but like, bro, you're a teacher.
So what time did you take it?
I'm not really for sure.
Kimberly's inconsistent story is tangling her in a big web of her own lies, which only further grows suspicions that she isn't telling them the truth. Appearing noticeably intoxicated, Kimberly is asked if she'd submit to a breath test.
Bro, she's gonna take a test that will, oh my God, I almost threw up. That'll prove that she's either drunk or not drunk. Why would you even be drunk when you, okay. I'm gonna stop pausing the video. Let's see if she's actually drunk.
This clearly struck a nerve with her.
Are you gonna blow double zeros?
I don't know.
You should know. If you hadn't drank anything, you should blow zeros. If you drank something recently, it's gonna show it. We'll just find it. Take a big deep breath.
Oh my God, bro. So they're testing her. I don't even know how this thing works.
Go.
They're testing her to see if she has, oh my gosh.
You gonna tell me the truth? How much you had to drink?
I drank last night.
There's no way you drank last night.
Well, I did drink last night.
Did you drink at school? Is what he's asking. Tell us the truth.
I didn't drink at school.
That wouldn't blow that right there.
You blew 2 times the legal limit.
Bro, 2 times as much as it's legal. Bro, she said, oh, I drank last night. Bro, I don't even understand why people drink, bro. Like that, it tastes gross. It's not good for you. People just have no control over themselves. I don't give a damn.
Blowing 2 times the legal limit serves as no surprise to anybody in the room. But what
They need to fire
worried
her.
them is that they still don't know when she drank the alcohol. And
Wait, that means she had to have drank the alcohol in the school if she had that high of a... Was she like teaching like kids and then she was like, hold on y'all, I need to take a sip of my Dr. Pepper. Just straight drinking alcohol.
that they were determined to figure out.
They're gonna search her classroom?
What's in this drink?
That's a Diet Coke.
Is there anything liquor in it?
Nope.
So if I go into the classroom, am I gonna find anything else?
This thing is pretty accurate.
No, I know it is.
You blew like a .24.
I don't know what that means.
Legal limit's .08. Do you drink often?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, okay.
Bro, check this out. I think they found the alcohol in her room where the kids were. Look.
Okay, no more games, right?
Oh my God, look.
My juice?
He said, what's in that? She said, red juice. Bro, that's gotta be, it's probably wine.
Gonna try again. That there is wine.
I thought that was from yesterday.
You drank it up here yesterday?
Well, I brought it from home.
You gonna get your phone and call someone?
Well,
Is it not in there?
I thought it was on the desk.
Bro, they found her freaking wine. Bro, she's drinking wine at school, bro.
I didn't drink out of it today.
I don't believe you.
I drank out of that coming to work yesterday.
Well, where's the cup that you drank out of today? Is it in your classroom too?
I don't think so. I thought I was doing a good job today. I don't know. I don't know.
With Kimberly detained, she'd now slowly come to realize how badly she messed up.
Can I just please...
No!
Can I just ask you a question?
Nope. Questions are over.
In this incident, Kimberly was charged with public intoxication and was also fired from her job.
Damn.
Kimberly's
I mean, she deserves it. I mean, you just cannot be, you just cannot be drunk around kids, bro. It's like messed up,
downfall
bro.
was all too predictable. But a bus plowing through your house is definitely not.
Okay, the next clip is gonna be a bus driver who drove through. Dude, I've had some crazy moments on school buses when I was in high school and middle school. I think I used to ride the bus because my family like didn't take me to school that much because we were broke or whatever. But dude, if I was on a school bus and it crashed into a house, that would have been the best day ever.
Yo, you alright, man?
On January 27th, 2023, residents of West Caldwell, New Jersey woke
See, this is something that would happen in New Jersey. Who the hell lives in New Jersey?
up to a massive bang. When they went to check on the noise, they
Oh my God.
saw the school bus of 37-year-old Anthony Stuckley crashed into a house.
Bro, imagine you're like sleeping and you're sleeping. Oh, what the hell is in my mouth? That's disgusting. I think there's like hair in my mouth. Anyway, imagine you're sleeping, right? And then you hear, boom, and you're like, oh my God, there was a bomb. You go outside to look at what it was. There's a school bus inside of your house.
Crashed into there.
Is anybody in the bus?
Yes. No, there's a man that he's okay.
Confused. He tried to start.
Are there any kids in the
bus?
car?
Didn't see any
I
kids.
just said that at the same time that he said that. What the hell?
I need to see if anybody's in the house for me. He keeps trying to start. Can you get in it at all? Central. Start the FD. Might be trapped. Yeah, see if you can get that open.
Jesus.
I think he's open. Buddy. Yo, you alright, man? I got the back open. Alright.
Why is he crying and stuff? Like, is he under the influence too? Is this teacher like drunk too? The school bus driver drunk too? Or did he just accidentally crash? How do you accidentally crash into a house? I gotta see what happens. I'm gonna stop pausing it, I promise.
Approaching the bus, the officer heard the bus driver screaming erratically from inside, so he needed to act quickly to ensure the safety of not only the driver, but
why is he pointing to his crotch? Did y'all see? Why'd you put the arrow right there, bro? What type of editing is this, bro? What type of editing is that, bro? I promise it was not me.
The driver, but any potential children on board as well.
Wait, this says that this video was at January 27th at 8:40 a.m. So maybe there would be kids in the bus, maybe not. Maybe he just dropped them off.
Right, body cam. Buddy, all right? You gotta get off the bus for me.
Why is he screaming, bro? He thinks he's playing GTA 6.
Buddy, look at me. Look at me. Police officer, you all right? Look at me.
Damn, I feel bad for him, bro. Maybe he just like he hit a rock or something, you know?
Nah, negative. Just the driver. Is he all right? Yeah, for now.
Thankfully, there were no children on the bus.
That's good.
But the bus driver is still screaming. So
maybe he like hurt his foot. Maybe his leg is trapped.
So the officer needs to act quickly to check on any injuries. Safe to say, Anthony's really got himself in a stucky situation.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. We gotta get off the bus, all right?
Oh my God, man.
Upon escorting Anthony off the bus, the officers would now try to question him, but Anthony had no intentions of telling the truth.
I was trying to avoid something on the road, and everything it just happened so fast.
Okay, what were you trying to avoid?
It was something, I don't know what it was. It was something on the road.
After speaking with Anthony, cops gave some time for him to calm down before a second round of questions. But as the questions came, Anthony had a dictionary of excuses for
oh man, okay, he just like literally, bro, he's gonna say there's a lady in the road. What?
How the crash happened.
So I guess this particular situation, this car felt like it wanted to shortstop me, and I had to swerve out the way, and then just everything just went chaotic after that. And the bus is really not, these buses are really not usually functional how they should be, but I know how to manage these buses.
Obviously not. This dude just crashed.
While speaking to Anthony, the officer noticed the smell of alcohol.
Oh my God, another teacher was drinking. Bro, alcohol literally just is the most horrible thing, bro.
Coming off his breath. Suspicions growing. The cops now try to perform some sobriety tests on him. Suppose you were a teacher. What grade would you give Anthony on these tests?
He has to put one foot in front of the other.
Just count loud. 1001, 1000. Turn around for me. Change my back. You're being arrested for driving while intoxicated, okay? You understand that? Okay. Your tests weren't that great, and your eyes were even worse.
Well, according to the officer, he scored an F, as Anthony was swiftly arrested as he was unable to maintain his balance during the sobriety tests.
I don't know how that's proof. Maybe he was actually drunk, but how is that proof? Like, some people just have bad balance. I can balance pretty good. But like, what if he just had bad balance? Plus, he just crashed the damn bus. Like, maybe he's still nervous. I don't know. Let's see if they prove that he was...
This case became so popular that Anthony was even featured on the news.
Take a look over my shoulder at this giant hole left in the front corner of this home. Luckily, no one was inside the house at the time of the crash, and no students were on board the bus.
In the next case, a school band director refused to stop his band. On September 14th,
Bro, is this guy gonna, what the hell? This band teacher's gonna get arrested for not stopping his band at a football game? How are you gonna get arrested for your band playing music? I gotta see this. I mean, I never liked band kids. They were always kind of weird at my school, but
we're in the process of clearing out a football game when he observed band director Johnny Mims still playing his band. As a result, officers tried to tell Mims to stop, but it wouldn't be so easy.
Get out my face! Get out my face! Get out my face! That's okay. I got my troops coming. I got my troops coming. They're gonna stop me. How you made?
Load him up before I contact the superintendent. Head up.
Tell him to stop.
Let it. We gotta go.
why are they trying to?
As the officers spoke,
why are they trying to get him to stop? He just said it's our last song. What's wrong with playing? Like these cheerleaders are dancing and stuff. Maybe the football game just ended and they want him to leave. But like, bro, the cheerleaders are still dancing. Why aren't you on the cheerleaders' ass about it?
With Mims, it was immediately clear that he wasn't going to stop his band, telling officers he's on his last song.
Yeah,
but as the officers want him out now, they'd continue to argue with each other.
Get out my face, man. What you gonna do? Get out my face.
That's okay. I'm gonna contact the school. Have they cut it?
That's fine. That's cool. Okay. Cool. That's cool. All right, stop it. We gotta go. Hey, red one, two, red one, two.
That band is savage. That band is savage.
Once Mims finished with the final song, he proceeded to walk away, believing the situation to be over.
Don't tell me they're gonna arrest him, bro. What was wrong with him playing music?
However, he could not be further from the truth.
No. This is so like lame, bro. Why are y'all even fighting and stuff? It's a football game.
He hit the officer. He gotta go to jail. He swung on the officer. I did not swing on the officer, man. Y'all driving look. He going to jail because I actually respect no son.
Yeah, I'm skipping this. This is stupid. Okay, let's see what happened.
He faced charges of disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and harassment.
I mean, I don't know the full story, but that sounds stupid to me. Let's go to the next one.
But in the next case, a teacher refused to leave the school after being fired.
She looks like one of those teachers that, bro, oh my god, bro, she got fired and then she just refused to leave. I gotta see this, bro.
After being fired.
Let me contact my attorney so you can't arrest me, okay?
You're gonna go to jail.
On June 1st, 2021, Milwaukee police officers arrived at a public school where they were met by a recently fired teacher.
Why is she sitting in a lawn chair, bro? She definitely had that in her car trunk. She went to school, got fired, went to her trunk, pulled the lawn chair out, put it down, and sat right in the front just to be petty.
Who refused to leave the property.
Hey, Miss Bailey, I'm Officer Hamid with the Milwaukee Police Department. It's my partner, Officer Claudio. So we were sent over here because we were told that you're no longer an employee of MPS and that they've asked you to leave.
I wasn't given that information. I've been trying to reach someone to get information. Now, but then all of my access has been blocked. It's not true, I'm not an employee. I got email correspondence on my phone saying I'm an active employee with MPS. So if we're gonna have a police response, that means I need to go live and
with the
teacher. Police showed up, so she needs to start Facebook live streaming. Come on, bro.
Now live.
Hopefully it wasn't TikTok.
On Instagram.
Oh, it was Instagram. Who the hell goes live on Instagram? Bro.
Continued to loudly argue while the officer spoke with school security so he could figure out what was even going on.
So what's going on?
Why has he got that thing on his face? Does the officer have bad breath?
Last week on the 27th.
Okay.
And she's not even in our 411 directory anymore, so she's not active.
So can you contact, you
And,
can let them know
we
I
have-
am.
we
I
have,
have email information, Bob Peterson.
We have correspondence coming up for it now.
Okay, well, you can have them come down.
Okay. I'm not having a conversation with you because when I tried to have a conversation with you earlier, you would not listen to me. Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, she's not listening. Like, why do people not listen, bro? Obviously, this guy has more authority than she does. He knows what's going on. She obviously doesn't. Why is she not listening to him? Like, people love being a victim. She's like, like, why? Like, she wanted to go on live streams just so she could show everyone, oh, these people are being rude to me, not letting me work. Like, bro, you got fired for a reason.
Without permission.
While the officer spoke with security, the teacher makes countless excuses for why she can't leave, all of which were lies, according to school security. Officers would now try to give her a trespass notice, but she had no intent on leaving.
Okay, Miss Bailey, you're receiving a no trespassing order from MPS
No trespassing is too low for what?
because you're no longer an employee of the district.
Since when? As of when?
As of Friday, the email you sent on Friday. That's what HR told me. You sent an email on Friday. Okay, so I'm not going to have any more conversations regarding you need to leave.
So I need my check stuff like they told me I can come.
You're not getting that today. You're going to
How
leave.
can I not get them?
Because
if I'm an employee, this is my
you are not an employee, ma'am.
I was employed by them.
Bro, I have never seen a teacher that wanted to be at school more, bro. They're telling you to leave school. Isn't that like your greatest dream?
Copies of my check.
And you're not getting them today.
Why am I not? How am getting them?
You can contact HR via phone.
Bro, okay, I'm skipping her. That's so stupid. All right,
You'll
here's the
now
next one.
see why going to a school staff party, but you've been fired, is an insanely dumb idea.
Wait, so this lady was fired, this teacher was fired, and then she went to a party with all of the other teachers.
On June 6, 2023.
What is it with everything happening in June, bro? I thought June was a good month. Why are these
Officers
teachers-
responded to a call from the principal of an elementary school reporting a teacher who was not only fired from the job, but was also incredibly drunk. Here's what happened.
What is up with these teachers and drinking alcohol, bro? Like, these people are not fit to teach our children, bro. No wonder everyone's just so dumb nowadays.
Cops arrived.
What's going on? We're just trying to make sure she doesn't drive home. All right. Okay.
Well, that's very nice of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you know her?
Yes, so I'm the assistant principal. We're here having our end of year celebration. One of our other assistant principals
End of year celebration, bro. It's the 6th. It was June, bro. What type of end
was
of year
her
is that?
supervisor. She had to let
Japanese?
her go this year. And so when she saw her, she got very upset, started punching her truck, saying she wanted to.
What?
Take her emotion.
Right. Please take this kid out. Just please take her home. Get her phone.
Okay, thank you.
After getting a background on the case from the principal, the officers directed their questions towards the teacher,
This is a
who
teacher,
had
bro?
no intention on answering them.
Is that her car?
No, it's my boyfriend's car.
Oh, she's so
Ma'am,
drunk.
what's your boyfriend's name?
I'm not telling you.
What is your boyfriend's name?
Doesn't matter.
We're trying to help you out.
What's your boyfriend's name? Doesn't matter. It really does matter. Bro,
Okay.
this was a
I'm
teacher?
not-
Hey,
Oh my God.
you gotta throw your water.
No, I have to.
What's going on?
What
Talk
the
to me.
Because I try to go in there and talk to a principal.
What happened?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, it matters to me. I'd like to know.
I'm not driving.
I know.
Bro, this is the worst teacher ever. If y'all recognize this lady, bro, I'm
I'm
praying
just
for
trying to
you,
have
bro.
a conversation with you. That's all.
Who
Yeah, now I'm
hired
being
you?
a bit.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Not at all.
While this woman continued non-coherently trying
Let me drive home. Okay, I'm not even watching the rest of this. These are the worst. What's up, dummies? We're about to react to an evil mom that doesn't realize that she's a terrible liar. Apparently, this mom said that her son is missing, but she's lying. This is gonna be a creepy video. Hopefully, she didn't like kill her son or whatever. But let's see this.
So how do we find Alika?
I don't know.
You're not
lying.
I can already tell, bro. Like, this is somebody's mom. She's evil, bro. I can already tell. Like, there's just something about how she's acting, bro. This is gonna be creepy, bro.
You got some blood drops on your shoes.
This is Janet Garcia.
He just noticed that this girl has blood on her shoes. Don't tell me she killed her. Okay, let's watch this.
27 years old. Police in Clark County, Everett, Washington meet her at a rehabilitation center. They're there because of several reports about her missing 4-year-old son, Ariel.
Missing 4-year-old son?
Who called police to report Ariel missing was his grandmother, Maria. Investigators quickly learned that Ariel was last seen with his mother. Once they locate Janet, they begin talking to her, trying to make sure the boy is safe.
What's going on today?
Can I open the zipper? Just checking it. Thank you. I just want to make sure before.
What's going on today with you? And like, sounds like the cops have been talking to you already.
Yeah. So I
got some blood drops on your shoes.
Yeah.
In the call with police, Ariel's grandmother reports something alarming. After going to Janet's apartment, she says she found several spots of blood inside.
So my son fell this morning earlier.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I was able to take him to the doctors and everything was okay. I took him with another lady so she can watch him for me because I wasn't staying at home. I had problems going on with my parents and they didn't let me in the house. So
what?
I was staying with another lady. She was super sweet. That's where my son fell. And then, but we left, so I was like, okay, you know. So I went to another lady's house.
Okay, she's yapping, bro. I'm pretty sure the cops literally asked her, okay, where is your son? Because her son's missing, right? She's over here saying, oh, I was hanging out with this lady. She's really sweet. Like, that's what people do when they're lying. They just like add to the story. Just tell them where your son is. You're a mom. How do you not know the location of your son?
And I told her if she could watch him for me, I wanted to come get, you know, I wanted to fully recover. I'm an alcoholic, so I was like, if you can watch him for me for 12 months, that'd be amazing. Because
damn, what? This girl's talking about how she's an alcoholic and she asked this lady if she could watch her son. I thought she meant like, oh, could you watch my son for 30 minutes? Or like, could you watch my son for today? She said she asked this lady to watch her son for 12 months. That's a whole year. You want to go a whole year without looking at your son? You're
I'm
weird.
Not my mom, and she's the one that has like, just like a notarized paper saying that she has legal custody of them, but I have legal custody of them. She's not letting me see my older son, so I'm a little
that would be really hard.
Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about that one. So I'm here now and everything's okay. So I don't know what else.
2 days before this body cam footage, on March 25th, Janet's own mother, Maria, had filed for legal custody of Ariel and his 7-year-old brother. In her statement, Maria said Janet had a history of taking Ariel with her to bars while she was drinking and hanging out with friends.
That's weird.
The boy often had no shoes on and wasn't dressed properly for the cold weather.
No shoes on and no jackets in the cold weather? Okay, if that's true, that mom is messed up, bro. She's evil.
She also claimed Janet had left both kids alone for long periods of time without food, had been physically abusive, once even throwing Ariel's brother against a wall, and that she struggled with alcohol and drug use. Because of this, the court granted an emergency guardianship and scheduled a custody hearing for March 29th, just 2 days after this video.
Well, we want to make sure that he's safe and know where he is. Who's the friend that you left it with?
I left him with another lady. I don't have her information.
What? You left your son with somebody and you don't even know their name or their phone number? Yo, this is an evil mom, bro. What?
Oh, well, that's not gonna cut it. We gotta figure out where he's at. Where can you like tell me the location where somebody could go and check on him and make sure he's okay?
In like SeaTac area.
Okay.
Seattle.
More specific?
I don't have an address.
Nothing.
You don't have an address? How do you not remember where you took your son? This lady is such a liar. Such a liar.
How do you know the person how did you pick the person?
She's a longtime friend that I know.
Okay, what's her name?
So what's her name?
Alika. That's all I know. Alika Bone.
Alika Bone? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Huh?
And you've known her?
Her name is Alika Bone?
Okay. But you've known her for a long time? So how did you reach out to her?
So I reached out to her because I needed help.
How did you reach out to her?
I found her number on my old Facebook, but I no longer have a Facebook anymore. So.
Okay.
Is this something you sign back into?
No.
No, you just delete it all.
I delete it all the time. So.
Yeah. You found it today on your old Facebook? And her name is
Alika Bone.
She just said, I texted her on Facebook today, but I deleted it. Just re-download it. She's...
Alika Bone? Like B-O-N-E?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she lives in the SeaTac area. So you drove him from the first house you were at to her house? Or the doctor first?
Mm-hmm.
What?
I gotta figure out what happens.
Swedish.
What?
Swedish, and that's it.
Swedish where?
Or I think it's Providence, actually. Providence in Everett.
In Everett? Providence?
Okay.
She's
you understand
lying.
we just need to make sure that he's okay, and then...
Yeah.
We can just do that, and then we can leave you be, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
She's
so
lying.
how do we find Alika?
I don't know.
What?
Can you describe to me how you got there from Providence?
So I just drove from there to Seattle, and then that's it.
You drove from Providence to Seattle to Alika's house?
Yes.
Okay.
So take them to Alika's house. She's beating around the bush.
Did you drive on the freeway or? Okay. How long did it take you to get there?
Why is she smiling?
Like 2 hours.
2 hours. And what car were you driving?
My car. So just like 1 hour or so.
And what kind of car do you have?
I have a Nissan.
Okay. Where's that car now?
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
So.
Where is it?
I left it at her house, and then I came over here on the bus.
This lady's guilty, bro.
After checking the security cameras, police realized Janet had lied. She never took a bus. The footage shows that 3 hours before officers arrived, Janet parked her car at a bar just down the road from the rehab center.
Wow, they caught her on security
About a minute later, she got out of the car and walked straight toward the center.
Pretty expensive ticket. Get a C-Tram bus to come down here?
No, actually, it was only like $30.
Oh, really?
She's lying.
You're not
lying.
You have a longtime friend that you reach out to leave your son with,
son.
who you obviously care about
Of
very
course,
much.
I love him with all my
yes,
heart.
because and you're expressing how upset you are about what's going on between you and your mom and the custody of him and your older son. I think that's horrible. So I know that you're not going to go leave your son with somebody and you don't know where he is.
Yeah, no.
So you do know where he is.
No, I know where he is. I know where he's at.
Tell me where he's at.
I don't have the address for him.
Bro, she's lying.
Okay, how can we find the address for him?
I don't know.
Did you put it in your phone?
No.
To get there? Okay.
How'd you get
Alika,
there?
You know where your son is because you're a mom who loves her son very much and you didn't
I'm not Alika, I'm Jeanette.
I'm sorry, Jeanette.
Yeah.
Alika, you took him somewhere and you're going to go back to him and you know where he is. So tell me where he's at so we can make sure that he's okay or what's going on.
She's just not
So
telling
he's
the...
not, I mean, he's there. He's with her, but
tell
he's
me
not
how
with
to go check on him.
I can give you an address.
Okay, what's the address?
I don't know, you have to write it down.
Okay, I can do that.
The address Janet gave police wasn't even in SeaTac. It was about a 30-minute drive away from that area.
I don't have a phone number for her, but
When he fell, where'd he get hurt?
just he on his head, but he fell on the ground and he hurt himself.
Heads are the worst.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find, I don't even,
How old's your son?
he is 5.
Where did you get that address from? Just now?
From the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you remember leaving him.
So yeah, Alika, that's her
Okay.
name. So, and if you guys can't find him or whatever, this is where I'm going to be for the next 12 months. But I mean, he's there.
They check in.
How did you guys discuss that you're obviously gonna communicate with him still, you wanna check on him?
Yeah, like, what? She dropped off her son at this Alika girl's house for 12 months?
Right.
And all that, how are you guys gonna communicate?
Well, I'm not going to have my phone. I'm not going to use my phone because
Okay.
I'm going to be here for the next 12 months.
Okay.
So if anything, I don't know. What else?
Okay.
That's it.
You didn't discuss that with Alika before you left?
Yes, I discussed with her. I'm going to be here for 12 months. And then, but before that, like, I don't speak to my parents or anything like that because we got into an altercation. So, but this is where I'm going to be.
Well,
They're not asking you where you're gonna be. They're asking you where your son is. They don't care where you live.
Figure out where your son is. Obviously, there was some concerns. And once we can do that, his injury was pretty bad. Yeah, was there quite a bit of blood and stuff? What did he do?
He jumped from the bed that we were sleeping on to the ground, and then he just got blood on his head, and so I had him taken to the doctor, and so he's doing good.
Okay.
She's lying.
Okay. What did he hit it on?
Just on the ground.
lying.
Okay. How did it start bleeding?
It's just started bleeding.
Can you show me like what side of his head? Do you remember what side of his head it was?
I don't remember exactly what side of the head it was.
How do you
but
not remember, bro?
Yeah. So you don't. What time did it occur today?
Just, like early, like at 10, 11.
10 or 11. Okay.
She's lying, bro.
It's already 6:30, or about to be 7.
So how long were you guys at the hospital?
We were only there for a little bit. I don't even think he got checked. We got there, and but we didn't. I didn't wait enough for him to get checked out. So
he didn't actually go back and get checked.
What happened to him when he fell?
Nothing. He just cried.
Just cried? Just
like, just like, yeah.
Do you want to sit down? I can leave the door open. You can sit right there so you're out of the room.
Oh.
Well, that's scary. He's 4? Okay. Did he vomit or anything? No. Can you describe to me what that Providence looks like? Do you know what road it's on, or what is? Did you park in the emergency room parking lot, or?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Or was there a parking garage or anything?
She never went there. She's lying.
Do you remember
bro.
when you walked in? Like, can you describe to me when you walked in what it looked like?
Just the hospital.
But can you describe, like, when you walk in the door, where was the check-in?
In the front, like I walked in, as soon as I walked in, the front desk was checked in right there, and I said my son had to be seen for something, and then his name and everything.
Okay.
And that's
You're going like this, so you wrote it down, or was there like a check-in thing? Or
there was a check. All right, but I think they checked me in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't write anything on there. Do you think he needed stitches or anything?
No, he's fine.
Okay. You didn't remember where his injury
Liar.
was?
Liar.
Front, side, back. Do you remember?
It's the side. It was the side.
Definitely one of the sides that you recall?
The front, yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
Front. All right. And then you contacted your friend through Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I got her information through Facebook.
Oh, okay. And then what information did you get?
Just her number, and then I went to her house and dropped off my kid there, and then now
So
I'm
if you
here.
got her number, it would be in your text messages or your phone call history.
You got like her phone number? Okay. And did you call her from your phone?
From my phone.
Okay, the one that's in your purse there, you called her from?
When Janet was reading a fake address to the officer, she claimed she didn't have any information about Alika's number and had
She said
deleted
she
all
doesn't
her
have the
phone
number.
records and Facebook. But now, out of nowhere, she suddenly changes her story
Scam.
and finds a number for her in her
Scam.
phone.
Scam.
I don't know if you guys want to call her, but I don't think she's gonna answer anymore.
Why?
Do you remember what your son was wearing today when you took him to the hospital?
Pajamas, blue pajamas.
Pooh? Like Winnie the Pooh?
Just regular blue pajamas.
Oh, blue.
So, if you guys
Poop.
don't, locate my son, what's gonna happen?
Bro, she said, what happens if you don't locate my son? The reason is because I guarantee you this mom, did that to the kid and then dumped him somewhere, and then boom, she's trying to figure out what's going to happen if they don't find him.
That's what we're working on at the moment.
Why do you think they won't be able to locate him?
Yeah.
You got the address to where he
Because
What is she looking at, bro? She just looked at something. Maybe he's buried near over there. I just peeped something.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if you guys are not able to find him, what can happen?
What it's looking like right now is that we're gonna need to stay with you until we find him, because it sounds like you said you know where he is, you know where you left him,
right?
So it shouldn't be an issue, right? Should be able to locate him. I have another favor though to
Why?
ask.
Yes.
Because it's raining and it's cold and I'm shivering, and we're gonna be with you, I think, for a little bit. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
We're gonna be with you for a little bit. Would you mind? We have a precinct right up the road. It's comfortable and dry that we can all sit in so we can chat. So we're all out of the rain. Would that be okay?
Where is it?
It's just right down by the fairgrounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
just on 179.
Yeah.
And then we can give you a ride back and all of that if that's okay.
Can I get a coffee from here before we
We
go?
got coffee there.
We have coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got coffee.
We can give you coffee.
You can't grab that seatbelt around your backside. This.
While the male officer drove Janet to the station, the
This lady wants a coffee, but her kid is missing.
female officer stayed behind. She spoke with witnesses and people inside the rehab center, checked the place, and gathered as much information about Janet as she could. It's still unclear how Janet got from the bar to the rehab center. The road between them has no sidewalks and is usually busy. It's possible that after leaving her car, she hitchhiked her way there.
So yeah, I saw her today, and she looked pretty out of it. I mean, she had her haircut, like Britney Spears kind of thing, went crazy because she used to have long, big black hair, and told me that her mom was calling because they can't find her son, and her mom went to her house and saw blood. I don't know how dramatic it was, but saw blood. I don't know where, but just saw blood, and they can't find her son. And then she's over here, and my brother, where's your son?
Yeah.
He's with my mom, and her mom's calling over here saying he can't find her son. I mean,
Wow, this guy said that he asked her, "Where's your son?" And she said, "Oh, he's with my mom." But she lied because she told the cops the son's with Alika.
I mean, there's a bad connection there. Yeah, I don't know if she's lying, crazy. I don't know. That's the situation from what I know.
Did she seem like from the previous Janet that you knew a couple of years ago? Was it?
Yeah.
Compared to today, how was her behavior?
Drastically different, because she was always bubbly and loud and had this big great laugh, you know, kind of really annoying laugh, and talking to everybody, and she was just kind of with her hands in her pockets and quiet.
Yeah, she
do you
must
know
have
how
done
many
something
children she
creepy.
has? Two. Do we know where the other child is?
As far as I know, with her mother.
Okay.
And I think that was the whole dilemma, is they can't find her other son.
Gotcha.
And so her mom
What's
went to
gonna
her
happen, bro?
apartment and saw blood and went hysterical, and this is how this all started.
So according to
Turns out that
this,
when Maria filed for custody of the kids, she also requested that Janet be placed in rehab and receive psychiatric care. She even asked that Janet's tax refund be redirected so the money could go towards supporting the children. Maria explained all of this in her filing to the court. The officers kept talking to people and searching the area, but they didn't find any clues about where Ariel might be. In the end, officers charged Janet with making false statements after they found her car, but still no sign of Ariel. She was taken to jail. Right around that time, police issued an endangered missing persons advisory in the middle of the night. The next day, March 28, 2024, tragically, officers discovered Ariel's body off Interstate 5. The location where he was found was halfway between Janet's apartment and the rehab center she had gone to, about 75 miles from her apartment. Janet was then charged with first and second-degree murder, as well as assault of a child. When the autopsy results came back, it was revealed that Ariel had been stabbed more than 41 times in different parts of his body. He also had many defensive wounds. Janet pleaded not guilty, and her bail was set at $3 million. The final verdict is still unknown, but if she is convicted, she faces the possibility of life in prison. Yet no ruling will ever undo the pain Ariel, just 4 years old, had to endure. May his soul rest in peace forever.
X, bro. What? That is the worst mom ever, bro. What's up, dummies? So today we're about to react to some scary babysitter horror stories. Bro, back in the day when I was a little kid, I used to have so many different babysitters, and thankfully, none of my babysitters were really creepy. I did have this one old lady who would just sit in her chair and kind of just watch me while I ran around. That was kind of weird. She didn't really say anything, but we're about to find out some of the creepiest babysitting horror stories ever. Get ready, bro. If you guys have a babysitter, you're probably too young to be watching this. Let's do this. Babysitting horror stories. Story number 1. Oh, this is gonna be so creepy.
When I was 18, I was a babysitter for 3 young boys across town from me. They
Okay.
were 3, 5, and 7. I'll just call them Adam 3, Bobby 5, and Chris 7, ABC.
Adam, Bobby, and Chris.
Adam and Chris were the easiest to take care of. Adam was a surprisingly well-behaved toddler, and Chris just liked to play his video games and watch TV. Bobby, on the other hand, was very moody, a picky eater, and difficult to get to go to sleep. I had worked for this family for months, and I was somewhat close with their mom Lucy, who was raising them by herself. They had a decently modest middle-class house. Lucy's parents would help her out with finances and such. All 3 boys had their own rooms.
Nice little
Lucy
house.
worked nights at the time, so I'd always babysit till around midnight on weeknights, and my college classes would start in the afternoon, so it worked out schedule and sleep-wise. One night after playing some Nintendo Wii games with Chris, I put Adam to bed, and not long after, Bobby. Chris's bedtime would be 9:30, Bobby's would be 9. After tucking Bobby in, I started telling Chris to start changing into his PJs after his next game was over.
Okay.
Chris insisted I play one more game of Wii tennis with him, so I made a deal that he'd go to bed after if I did. During our game though, Bobby started crying for me up from his room. I paused the game and went upstairs. As I entered his room, he said there's a monster in his closet. I laughed, and I believe I pinched his cheek and said something along the lines of, there's no such thing as monsters, but I'll leave the door open so you feel safer.
When I was a kid, bro, I used to believe in that. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I used to think there was a monster under my bed.
And I asked if that made him feel better, and he nodded. Chris was downstairs calling for me to come back, all annoyed, so I went back to the game of tennis and we resumed, and we eventually finished the game with no interruptions. At this point, Chris went upstairs to change into his pajamas and brush his teeth, and I was alone in the kitchen watching TV. That's when Bobby's cries from upstairs echoed down again.
Wow.
I went up to his room again, and he was hiding under his covers. He said once again, there's a monster in the closet, I heard it. I looked at the closet door, which was closed. I looked at it for a while actually, then back at Bobby and asked, why do you think there's a monster in there? And he replied, I keep hearing it moving. I asked him if he wanted me to take a look, and he shook his head no. I walked closer to the closet anyway, and he said don't. I didn't take him seriously, till I heard something in the closet myself. It was very clearly the sound of something alive in that closet that tapped into the door, or something behind the door. Bobby whispered, "See?"
Oh.
I turned around and picked up Bobby and said, "We're going to another room." I also grabbed Chris from the bathroom and brought him into Adam's room, where I locked the door.
Okay.
Adam and Lucy's room share a Jack and Jill bathroom with 2 entrances. I went
That's what that's called? A Jack and Jill bathroom where there's 2 sinks?
to the bathroom and called Lucy and quietly asked if there was a possibility of there being an animal in the house or in the walls, because there were sounds that Bobby was hearing that I heard myself.
Yeah, it could be like a cat or a dog or like maybe a raccoon in the walls.
She sounded concerned right away and wanted me to check the closet. I kept her on the phone as I went back to Bobby's room.
I ain't looking at the closet.
The closet door to now be ajar confirmed that there was someone in the house with us.
She went back into the room to check the closet and it was open now. That means that whatever was in the closet, whoever or whatever, is now in the house.
I told Lucy and she freaked out, telling me it was most likely her crazy ex and to get the kids out of the house. I suddenly felt like my life were in danger and her ex was going to come out of nowhere and run at me. I went to Adam's room and managed to get the 3 kids out of the room. But just as I did, I heard the front door to the house slam shut. I peeked down into the living room, and there was no one there. But the front door was shut. He must have made an exit while he could. I went to lock the door, then called 911. Lucy came home from work early, and was there when the police came. Without cameras or anything, there was no proof that it was her ex, though.
Oh my god.
Father of Adam, but she keeps him away from her because of their past that I won't get into for her privacy. Long story short, he can't take it, and she just recently blocked his number, which would explain the possibility of him breaking into—
This mother trucker was in his little son's closet.
Police recommended changing the locks on the doors and such to Lucy.
No kidding.
She understood I wouldn't feel comfortable staying in that house for a while after that, so she started letting the kids stay with a relative or one of her parents coming to watch the kids. I don't know what happened after that because we kind of fell out of contact.
Never
I didn't really
saw
like the
them
fact
again.
that she was okay with me checking the closet when she was already suspicious that it was her ex. It was definitely a horrifying experience.
That is weird, bro. Oh my god, bro. All right, story number 2, sent in by Charlie. Oh, this is gonna be creepy, yo.
I had just turned 14. It was the summer of 2012. I was looking for a job.
Okay.
My grandma had told me about a family that she was friends with, and they had 2 boys, Alexander and Danny. Alexander was 10 and Danny was 5. I was very excited to have a summer job and get some extra spending money. I went over to meet the family with my grandma, and they were friendly enough. The 2 boys seemed easy to handle and not babyish or whiny at all.
Okay.
In fact, the boys and I were playing with their trucks, getting along great.
Easy
I set up a
babysitting
date with the
job.
parents, and they actually had a dinner to go to the next night. So the next night, it became time for me to head over to the house. It was a humid, rainy night. I walked into the house, and the parents—
Bro, humid and rainy, that's time for your house to get robbed, bro. People love robbing houses at night when it's raining.
were just getting ready to leave.
I think it's gonna be
They
a
gave me a
robber.
paper with rules and such, things they didn't want the kids to do and their routines.
Okay.
They wrote a little something on the side that said Danny swears he hears tapping on his window every night, but not to believe it, because they think it's just a silly story that kids make.
Oh my god.
I'm only 14 myself, so reading this was a little unnerving, but I sort of forgot about it.
Wait, they hired a 14-year-old to babysit? I think that's a little too young to babysit. Maybe like 16 is like the youngest you should do. Because at 14, you're still learning.
It was a chill night. We watched TV and played with toys. They didn't give me any sort of trouble, but when I told the boys it was time to get ready for bed, I noticed Danny starting to stall and get kind of distressed. I ignored it, thinking
Someone's
he's only
outside
5
of his
and
window.
probably wants to stay up later.
Somebody is outside of his window every night. I already know, bro. I just did a reaction video recently. It was another scary story video, and there was this guy that was in someone's window, bro. I don't know what it is with these creeps, but they like going in these kids' windows.
Settle down and go to sleep.
I'm not gonna spoil the
About
video
an
for
hour
y'all.
and a half
Go watch
had
it. But
passed.
it's
It was
creepy.
now 10 p.m. I
like
heard
this
Danny
creepy stuff.
groggily but loudly yell for me. I rushed up to him and asked what was the matter. He told me he heard the tapping noise again. I instantly felt uneasy and nervous, but I just flicked on the light and looked out the window. Nothing outside except darkness and the solar lights from the neighbor's driveway.
Okay.
I calmly told Danny that it was probably just some bugs since it's summer after all.
Right.
He seemed to come at ease when I said this and laid back down.
Right.
As I walked out of the room to shut his door.
Hold on, bro. I thought I heard some tapping on my door, bro. I'm not playing.
Window.
All right, let's see
Since
what
it's
happens.
summer after all. He
Right.
seemed to come at ease when I said this and laid back
I ain't messing
down.
around, y'all.
As I walked out of the room to shut his door, I heard a faint tap noise against his window. I got the chills as I flicked on the light again and looked out the window. And again, nothing. I kept telling myself that it was just bugs flying into the window.
Bro, bugs don't sound like... Bugs sound like...
Something deep down told me to do something. I told Danny not to worry, as I opened the window and yelled out, "This is private property, I'm gonna call the police." Moments after I did so, I heard a frantic scurrying into the forest that was across the yard. Now I must have had goosebumps all along my arms and legs, and I immediately called the police for real. I called the parents right after, and they were thankfully already on their way home. The police arrived and didn't seem at all surprised by what I had told them. They had gotten other reports in the area for quite some time about some stranger going up to people's windows at night, looking through them and tapping on them.
That is like, I don't know why, but that's like one of the creepiest things. Thinking about me going to sleep and somebody just watching me sleeping, that's creepy. Think about that, bro. You're going to sleep and some random guy's just like, or a girl, it could be a crazy girl. Why do we always assume it's a guy? What if it's a girl?
Almost every week. Danny's parents just never believed him and I guess took it as some little kid's story or imagination, but it turned out to be very real. They searched the whole neighborhood and never found the person. After that night, I told the family in the nicest way possible that I didn't feel comfortable watching their kids anymore. And I still think to this day what would have happened if anything went differently. Like, God forbid the window was unlocked or open. Maybe sometimes parents shouldn't just brush whatever their young children say as just their imagination.
Right. A lot of kids say like, "Oh, there's a monster in my bed. There's a monster in my closet." Like, "Oh, there's somebody outside. Somebody like wants to kill me." Dude, sometimes they're telling the truth. All right, story number 3. This is an anonymous person. This story is probably so scary that they didn't even want to give their name.
This happened when I was 8 years old and my little sister was 6. It's a memory that's kind of scarring, to the point that I just remember it so vividly, even as an adult, and it's something that stayed with me.
That's a
My
nice
parents
little
hired
town.
a one-time babysitter for this weekend that they'd be away on a couple's trip. It was some 16-year-old boy that responded to an ad that my mom posted in the public library. He happened to go to the high school that my parents went to, so I feel like they felt a safer connection with him. He was watching us for 3 nights from Thursday to Sunday. His name was Nathan. I don't know his last name. If I did, I'd say it. Most of the first night is a blur.
I don't know his last name, but if I did know it, I'd say it. That Nathan kid probably did something crazy.
Only 8 after all. I remember not much other than playing Ratchet and Clank on my PlayStation in the basement all night because I was obsessed. Same thing the next day, on Friday. I was playing Ratchet and Clank for so long that I guess Nathan came down to build a rapport with me and asked to play with me. He told me he also liked the game, so we played multiplayer versus mode. From what I remember, I actually was having fun and started to like Nathan. The next day, I had my friend Zachary over and we played soccer in the backyard, which Nathan volunteered to ref for as he came outside with my little sister. Basically, he was a completely normal seeming dude for my 8-year-old mind. Zachary left not long after we all ate the pizza that Nathan ordered with the money I assume my parents left for food. That night before going to sleep, I was playing on my DS in bed, when Nathan came in and asked if I wanted to play more video games, and I'm sure I respectfully told him I'm tired. He would leave as expected, but that's not where this ends. I always was a heavy sleeper as a kid. Not anymore, but when I was 8, waking up in the middle of the night wasn't a regular occurrence. So waking up in my pitch black room was definitely a weird thing to happen that night. I remember flipping on my side after hearing my door closing. I looked across the room towards the door, and as my eyes adjusted to the dark, I saw someone standing in the corner of the room, and before I could digest what was happening and scream or react in any way, I heard Nathan go shh and whisper, "It's me." I didn't respond, but then he slowly got closer to my bed, pulled the covers off of me, and I swear he was about to get in the bed before I screamed stop or something along those lines, and he froze. I got out of bed and left the room. I went to my little sister's room, took a blanket from under her bed, and laid on the floor shaking, feeling extremely confused and uncomfortable. The whole next day, I didn't see Nathan. I knew he was in the house because he fed my little sister breakfast, but I knew he was avoiding me now. I couldn't exactly call my parents because I didn't know either of their cell phone numbers.
What was Nathan trying to do? Why was he trying to get in the bed with the little kid? Maybe Nathan was having a nightmare? Nathan's a 16-year-old babysitter. He shouldn't have had a nightmare, right? What's he trying to do?
It was a weird long day of me staying in my room and playing games with my little sister. Nathan never came in once. That night, I couldn't sleep for obvious reasons. And I don't know how much time passed before hearing my door creak open again.
Oh my God.
Look up. I laid there until I heard the door close, and then a few moments of silence later, I looked up to the door, but he wasn't there this time. I turned on the lamp to confirm this, but even at 8, I knew he was creeping around again, and I wanted to go to sleep in my sister's room to protect her in my mind. I got up and took my pillows and blanket to my sister's room, and lo and behold, Nathan was already halfway towards my sister's bed in the pitch black room. I yelled at him to get away from her, and he told me to calm down, he's just checking on her. He hurried out of the room and I locked the door. That was the last time I ever saw him. The next morning, I woke up on my sister's floor and told her let's play games in her room until Mom and Dad get back, which was early in the day, thank God. We heard our parents get home and talk with Nathan outside, but we didn't leave her room until he was gone. My parents asked me why I slept on her floor. I don't remember what I said, but I know I didn't tell them the real reason. In fact, I never did. I regret it often, not telling them all those years ago, so that Nathan guy would get in trouble. I'm scared because of me, he might have actually at some point successfully hurt a child. It's sadly something I kept bottled up my whole childhood, simply because I felt too embarrassed and awkward to tell anyone.
So this Nathan kid was a 16-year-old kid trying to go babysit. He was babysitting like a 7-year-old boy and like a 5-year-old girl. He like breaks into their room late at night and he says he's checking on them. What, bro? I don't know how to feel. It does sound weird that he's trying to check on them. Like obviously they're sleeping, leave them alone. But the fact that he was trying to open the covers and lay down with the kid, yeah, that's weird. If anybody's name, what the hell am I saying? Nathan, you're weird. What's up, dummy? So I was just on YouTube and this video caught my eye. It says 6 most disturbing websites on the internet. And look at that damn thumbnail, dude. That website looks like you should not be there. We're about to find out some of the worst websites, the most disturbing websites ever. Once we watch this video and you find out about these websites, do not go there, okay? This is gonna be crazy. Buckle in. If you get scared easily, you better put on your diapers. Let's go.
Rentahitman.com is an easily accessible website on the service web that claims to offer hitman services.
What?
The website has been functioning since 2005, and despite the disturbing claims made throughout the landing page, it's never been taken down and is still active to this day.
Rent a Hitman?
Upon entering the site, you'll notice it's structured pretty similarly to any modern website that wants to establish trust and credibility with its viewers, which upon initial inspection is a little jarring considering what's being offered. According to one of the claims on the site, Rent-A-Hitman has a workforce of almost 18,000 US-based field operatives trained to take the life of anyone deemed a nuisance by the requester.
Bro, do y'all realize what a hitman is? Somebody who, like, you pay them and then they go eliminate someone. There's a website where you can get a hit. No way. This has to be a fake hoax or something.
One of the sections on the landing page describes the type of situations in which an ordinary person might find themselves in need of a hitman, such as getting bullied at the gym or office or wanting to get rid of an ex-partner.
Bro, what?
Interestingly, there's also a section with testimonials made by people who allegedly purchased the service and were satisfied with the result. There's even a commercial on the site made with a voiceover by a guy with an Italian accent claiming his name is Guido. If you click on Service Request, you'll be taken to an order form with a caption that reads, "If you are seeking a service request or wish to consult with a field operative, you will first need to submit brief details of your inquiry for our review, and a field operative in your region will contact you at the email address to obtain further details and to schedule your free consultation. Additional verification documents may be requested during the process."
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think this website is created by the US government or like the cops or something like that, like the FBI, to try to catch people who want to hire hitmen, because hitmen, that like hiring a hitman, hiring somebody to, you know, eliminate somebody, that is illegal. That's illegal in all forms. You go to jail for murder if you get caught like hiring somebody to do that. I think the reason that this website is still up after all these years, like he said, is because I think the FBI are behind this. If people actually want a hitman, then they get investigated.
If you haven't picked up on it by now, the whole site is satire, which is why it hasn't been taken down. It's sprinkled with obvious jokes and commentary that allude to its satirical nature, such as the claim, "We are 100% HIPAA compliant," which is apparently the Hitman Information Privacy and Protection Act of 1964. The site was created in 2005 by a Bay Area man named Bob Inez while he was taking an IT course. One day during class, he and his friends decided to start a business together and use the name Rent-A-Hitman as a play on words for their website traffic and analytics business. Unfortunately, the business never took off, and Bob and his friends left the website unattended for several years. 5 years later in 2010, he checked the mailbox associated with the website on a whim, and to his shock, he found hundreds of unread messages written by people all over the world with some pretty dark requests. As Bob later told ABC News, one of the messages came from a woman in Canada named Helen, who claimed she wanted 3 of her family members murdered. After reaching out to her, Bob quickly realized the request was serious, after which he forwarded the message to law enforcement, leading to Helen's immediate arrest.
She got arrested.
You might think that a case like that is 1 in a million, but as it turns out, dozens of people have reached out to Bob over the past 15 years with a serious desire to take someone out.
Jasmine Paez was arrested on Tuesday after she allegedly tried to get an assassin to kill her 3-year-old son. She needs to stop worrying about hiring an assassin. She needs to hire a dentist, because why the hell do you got 45 teeth on one side of your... Damn, so this guy did it too.
From 2010 to present day, Rent a Hitman has helped prevent over 150 legitimate murder attempts.
150 people have gone to this website and thought it was legit, and then the guy who created the website as a joke has told the cops. That guy, oh my god, that's awesome. Hidden Answers.
Hidden Answers used to be what you could call a deep web version of Reddit, Quora, or Yahoo Answers.
Okay, so it's like Reddit?
Basically, it was a deep web forum that could only be accessed by using specific browsers, where users could ask any questions they wanted without running into the risk of being censored.
Oh, that's gonna be weird, bro. You can ask any question you want, and nobody knows who you are. It's like anonymous. Oh my god.
As Hidden Answers was hosted on an unfiltered, uncensored part of the internet, some of the conversations that took place on the forum were naturally pretty disturbing.
I bet they are, bro.
Using the Wayback Machine, I was able to find some of these questions. One user asked if anyone could sell him a gun, while another asked for his fellow forum members to share a TNT recipe with him to make a bomb, claiming
Bro, what? How to make TNT? Bro was playing too much Minecraft.
he wanted to use it to explode a tree, or perhaps something bigger. A lot of the questions I found answered bordered on a...
Oh, also, why would you want to blow up a tree, bro? Trees are fire. Trees give us oxygen. We need oxygen. I love trees, dude. Call me crazy, but I love trees.
Legal, such as the one coming from a user who wanted to know how to print fake money, while another user asked for the best way to take the life of an annoying neighbor. Some of these questions didn't get a lot of answers, but still, it makes you wonder what the people who did get their questions answered went on to do with that information. In 2023, Hidden Answers was taken down by the owner of the site, who claimed he was tired of Tor being used as a way for petty people to ask stupid, illegal questions instead of as a tool to combat censorship.
Good.
As of 2024, the site is still down and will probably remain that way.
I think it should stay down, bro. That's a website where you can ask weird questions and nobody knows who you are. That's weird, bro. Galdrux.
Galdrux.com is a strange cult-like website dedicated to educating its users on how to transcend to the next dimension, or something like that.
Yo,
the website's pretty odd and confusing, so you'll have to make your own conclusions about its real purpose. On the landing page, I found a strange image of an eye with spider legs, along with a short paragraph that read, "There is no reality, only chaos. Through chaos, energy becomes will. Through will, truth becomes illusion. Through illusion, matter becomes thought. Through thought, we become God. Galdrux shall lead us to chaos."
Bro, the person who wrote that is tripping, bro. What did they do?
Gets a little more disturbing, as it's explained in pretty plain English that Galdrux.com was built as an online hub for cult leaders from all over the world to share resources, gather information, and spread their beliefs.
This is crazy.
As per the strange text on the page, Galdrux is some sort of multiversal cult looking to take over the world with a new form of spirituality.
What?
If anything on the website is to be interpreted as true, the overall goal of the cult is to push the world towards some sort of technological singularity, but that's as much as I could understand. As I scrolled further down on the website, the pages started to get weirder and weirder, with many of the sections featuring random flashing graphics bright enough to possibly cause a seizure.
Yeah.
One of the more eerie videos I found on the site featured Mark Zuckerberg's face contorting into strange shapes.
Huh? Dude, what? What's wrong with people, bro? Like, what? I don't understand this. This is just random stuff. Like, this... Somebody took all this time to write all this.
Also featured on the site is whatever that noise is you just heard playing the entire time.
Wow, that
By
sound
clicking on
plays
some of the
whole
links,
time.
you'll be taken to new pages introducing different kinds of deities in the strange cult. And from what I observed, there doesn't really seem to be an end to the site.
Somebody designed all
Other than
this.
finding pages upon pages.
And look at this. Look at all that writing, bro. Somebody did all this, bro. Somebody's really got all that time. Like, get a job.
Presented in visually distressing formats,
Look at
strange
that.
psychedelic poems,
my
questionable
God.
mathematical proofs, and endless puzzles in multiple languages. I couldn't really understand the point of the website. It's possible that Galdrix.com was built as some sort of art project.
No,
Or
bro,
that
this is not an art project. Somebody does not spend this much time on an art project. This is somebody who is messed up in the head, who has unlimited time, no job, no friends, no family, no responsibilities, nothing to do. That is just so messed up.
was really built as a way for cult leaders to connect online.
Look at
but
that,
because
bro.
there's not a lot of information on Galdrix.com out
Wow.
there, it's hard to know for sure.
Wow.
The most I could find outside of the site were a couple of Reddit posts made by people claiming to be members of the cult, asking their fellow Redditors to join them on Galdrix.com and open their minds to transcendence or something. But that's about it.
Weird. Really weird. The Black Vault.
Since he was
Ooh,
15 years
sounds
old,
weird.
John Greenwald Jr. became obsessed with understanding the inner workings of the US government, especially in
Okay.
regard to UFO-related confidential documents held by the CIA and other agencies. Since 1996, John Greenwald has leveraged the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, to gain access to more than 2 million pages of previously confidential documents. These documents include revealing information on alleged UFO sightings, the JFK assassination, chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons, and top-secret aircraft that the government does not reveal to the general public.
Huh.
Over the past 3 decades, John has taken those millions of pages of previously classified information and housed them in a well-known online archive known as the Black Vault.
Ooh.
Upon entering the website, you'll be greeted with a massive repository of all kinds of documents and case files presented in a pretty straightforward and no-nonsense fashion. One of the things that makes the Black Vault stand out is that it doesn't present any of the information contained in official documents as true, and the language used in the case descriptions doesn't give off any conspiracy theory vibes at all. The site simply lays out all the information from the documents that John and his team have acquired from the government in the most objective way possible.
So this...
All interpretations are left to the discretion of the viewer, which has contributed to the site's unshakable credibility over the years.
Wow, so there's a website where somebody took a bunch of government documents.
This straightforward and genuine type of presentation is almost what makes the site disturbing in its own type of way. For example, one of the stories I found talks about a series of alleged UFO photographs taken back in the 60s by...
Do y'all believe in UFOs? Let me know in the comments. Like, do you think, like, aliens really come to Earth in these unidentified floating objects? You think... I think aliens are here, but we probably can't even see them. They're probably on a different, like, dimension than us type. You know what I mean? Huh? Goggle.com? I thought that said Google.com at first. I was like, what the hell did Google do? I love Google. Goggle.com.
If you were using the internet around 2006 and had the misfortune of accidentally visiting a website named Goggle.com in an attempt to search for Google.com, you're probably familiar with the infamous virus that destroyed thousands of computers in the early 2000s.
What? If you search
and
up
became an
Goggle?
urban internet legend.
You get a virus?
Because so much of the information on Goggle.com has been wiped off the face of the internet, researching the history of the website has proved to be pretty challenging. Even the Wayback Machine has Goggle.com blacklisted from being archived on its database, which makes it a little hard to trace its origin. However, there still is enough information out there to shed some light on the rise and fall of Goggle.com, one of the most destructive viruses in early internet history.
So if you searched up Goggle.com on accident instead of Google.com, which is an easy typo, it's one letter messed up, you get a virus and your computer's broken. Oh my gosh.
The domain Goggle.com was registered on Valentine's Day 1998.
Bro, they made the website on Valentine's Day. That's a messed up, sick in the head person.
For around 6 years, the website remained pretty much inactive until in 2004, some sporadic reports of the website containing dangerous malware started to spread online. Interestingly, none of the public website archives out there have any information on Goggle.com existing prior to 2004, and a lot of them have even blocked the domain altogether, making it almost impossible for us to know what the site looked like from 1998 to 2004. But out of all the possibilities, the most logical one is that Goggle.com started out as a legitimate website in 1998 and was bought out and used as a typo squatting website in 2004. Typo squatting is the practice of buying a domain with a similar name to a well-known website, expecting to receive traffic from people looking for a certain keyword and accidentally misspelling it.
Yeah.
In this case, people searching for google.com who accidentally typed goggle.com would land on the website. Goggle.com was coded and designed so that as soon as a user landed on it, the user's computer would be flooded with pop-up ads and legitimate-looking Windows warning banners. When the users tried to close the windows, hundreds more would pop up until the computer crashed, permanently damaging the system. As you can probably guess, the warning windows were completely fake and were just browser windows that translated a user's click into an OK for installing malware. Basically,
wow. Okay, so they would pop up, like they would pop up these fake pop-ups. This looks real, you know? So then when you would click close, under this close button, it might say close, but like there's a bunch of code under the button that says download this virus, download this virus, open up 100 tabs. Wow, bro, somebody really knew how to code, knew how to program. Look at this. Select your free gift, a free PlayStation 3. If you were to click on this, it would probably download something to your... Wow, they even said, oh, hurry, no longer available in 5 minutes. Wow.
Translated a user's click into an OK for installing malware.
Look at this. You have won a $250 gift card. Click OK to claim it. You click OK, you download. Oh my God, bruh.
Basically, if you had the misfortune of visiting goggle.com, you might as well have said goodbye to your computer.
Wow.
The site was designed to destroy the user's computer by pushing the viewer to inadvertently allow files to be downloaded to their hard drive.
Why
by
would
the time
people...
they realized what was going on, it was too late.
Why?
Similar things happened on dozens of other websites, including MySpace in 2006, where users were shown a banner ad that, if clicked, would flood the user's computer with spyware. One of the things that made Goggle.com so deadly is that it pushed users to accidentally download Spy Sheriff, a malicious software disguised as an antivirus program. Once the user turned off their computer to leave Goggle.com, as soon as they rebooted the system, Spy Sheriff would pop up claiming that there were hundreds of viruses detected on the computer, and many people would inadvertently authorize the malware to wreak havoc on their computer until it rendered the hardware pretty much useless.
So these people went to this Goggle.com website, then they downloaded all these viruses without knowing. Then whenever they would restart the computer, there would be one thing called like spyware or something that would act like it was an antivirus. It would act like it was going to clean all the viruses up, and you would click yes, clean the viruses, and it would download even more. Oh my God.
Often the user's only option would be to completely wipe the hard drive, and sometimes not even this would be enough to get their computer working again. In 2006, a McAfee commercial used real footage of someone visiting Goggle.com to showcase the dangers of not having virus protection installed on your computer. Although some good did probably come from the commercial, it also incentivized a lot of people to try to get internet attention by recording themselves visiting Goggle.com.
People recorded it as a joke, like people thought it was funny to go to this website and then their computer gets exploded.
When this happened though, a lot of the vulnerabilities on most computers had been patched up by Windows, leading many people who visited the site to walk away unscathed and dismiss Goggle.com as an urban legend, but others with less modern operating systems were not so lucky. If the idea that something like this could happen on the internet seems crazy to you, keep in mind that this was back in the Wild West days of the internet, when commercial operating systems weren't nearly as developed as they are today.
Yeah, back then, like, computers weren't super safe. Like, you had more of a chance to get hacked and stuff back then. So those viruses really took a toll on people.
Goggle.com has been acquired by different owners, taken down, turned into a malicious survey website, taken down again, turned into a fake flash download site, and taken down again. Overall, the crazy impact this virus had back in the day shows how far the internet and computers have come over the past 2 decades, and still serves as a reminder to tread carefully online.
People are weird, bro. What? Apocalypse
Prepping is a deep website dedicated to providing detailed preparational instructions in case of the end of the world for any number of reasons. But more recently, its focus has been on artificial intelligence triggering the end of the world. On the landing page, there's a series of paragraphs outlining what the site is for and bringing attention to the site owner's opinion of the severity of the issue. As per the introduction text, the site was made with the intention of showing people how to survive the apocalypse with the bare essentials while spending a maximum of 500 to 2,000 euro. It also includes a pretty ominous warning that reads, After you have read this chapter, you will come to understand that highly dangerous superhuman AI systems are feasible by 2024 to 2027, and that many individuals and shady corporate entities will gain the power to wield them openly or covertly with a delay of maybe 2 to 4 years.
No.
Even just from the landing page, it's pretty clear that whoever made the site takes the idea of the apocalypse pretty seriously.
So somebody made a full website about how to get ready for the apocalypse because the AI is going to take over the world. AI is not going to take over the world, bro. We're not going to let AI, we're not going to let computers take over everything.
Otherwise, they probably would have gone through the trouble of building out a website with 9 different, incredibly detailed pages. The next section, titled The Threat, dives into why people should be a lot more worried about AI than they are now.
All right, let's see why we should be worried.
Scenarios for the short-term future of society
I'm not
after
worried.
the introduction of artificial intelligence.
Well, let's see.
As well as some of the common fallacies people fall into when it comes to AI, such as judging the future based on the past, assuming linear growth, and herd mentality.
Fair enough.
Another section named What to Expect basically describes what the world would look like if the
This says one day you might wake up and your internet's gone, power might be gone, TV and radio stations are offline. No one knows why. Stores will be overrun and goods necessary for survival such as food, water, medicine, gas will be sold out. People will be on the streets. After 1 to 2 weeks, the government will hand out emergency food. That's not going to happen. This is not going to happen, bro. The world is very, 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 very developed. We have systems in place for all this.
The apocalypse.
The guy who made this website
let's just say it's a pretty fatalistic view. Based on this doomsday scenario, the site owner then goes on to describe what an ideal plan would look like to survive the apocalypse, including finding shelter, stockpiling food and water, and surrounding yourself with people you trust. I gotta say, it's pretty interesting to see how much time whoever wrote this put into designing the perfect plan to survive a scenario that's so unlikely to happen.
That's a lot.
From
Look
purifying
at that.
dirty water to food rationing.
He's teaching you how to purify water. You need chlorine, iodine, straw filters, microbes, reusable plastics. Bro, he's teaching you how to do all this for the apocalypse as if it's actually going to happen. He wrote this on November 4th, 2023. That's almost 2 years ago, buddy, and none of that has happened. So I hope, you had fun doing
financial
this.
planning, to making poison and using weapons, to wound disinfection techniques, apocalypse prepping seems to have covered pretty much every possible scenario for people looking to get ready for the end of the world on a budget. There's no information to trace the identity of the site owner other than his Proton email address, and maybe the fact that he's probably European based on his choice to include euros as the default currency throughout the site.
I want to know who this guy is behind this website because he's a panicker. He's a doomer. He's a tweaker. This is not going to happen. And if it does,